Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast. Got a four-manner to start. Solly here in a matching shirt. Mr. DJ Pie. Hello, Pie Man.
Hello, Soli. Great to be with you. I'm buzzing for tonight, man. No PJ Tour event, but a ton of shit to talk about. We got our man here and wearing a cowboy hat. He's gone country. This is gonna be a great show. I can feel it.
The man you're referring to is U.S. Mid-Am quarterfinalist Justin Hueber. Hello, Justin. How are you?
Guys, great to be with you tonight. This is what a treat this is. Wearing the tea gift this week, so haven't been able to take it off yet. Just riding the high right now.
TC is here. Hello as well. TC, hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm just, we got a new sheriff in these amateur streets. I love seeing it.
Maybe a corrupt sheriff, according to all of my mentions on the Everything app this week. I was getting texts like, did you see how mad people are about Hueber playing in the Mid-Am?
They're mad as hell, Solid.
We're going to cover that. We're going to get to that. Before we do, there was quite a finish earlier this morning in France. Michael Kim carded a bogey-free 65 to break away from a crowded leaderboard and win on the DP World Tour. Congrats to Michael Kim.
Michelle Kim.
A contributor to our content for a long time, and we're very happy for him. Before we dive into his equipment setup, Michael led a pretty cool equipment trend on the final leaderboard. Each player in the top three played a Pro V1X golf ball, a GT2 or GT3 driver, T100 irons, and SM10 wedges. Michael's bag starts with his Pro V1X golf ball. He tends to be on the lower spin side, so the Pro V1X gives him more spin in the long game and more peak height compared to the Pro V1. He then moves to his GT2 driver with 11 degrees of loft. That setup helps him get his driver spin in the right window, around 2,500 RPMs. Helps him not to hang back to try to get the ball up in the air. He lets the club do the work for him. That's something you would learn in a fitting as well. He's got a blended iron set like a lot of us do, starting with the new T254 iron. He added that to the bag in Memphis. The new T250s are built for easy launch and forgiveness. I think all of us here on the pod are in a T254 iron ourselves. TC, you have the 250s all the way down to the 8 iron, I believe, actually.
7 iron. Yeah.
7 iron.
I go
okay.
8. I go 150s and 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Honestly, I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, let's just rip it all the way through, guys.
Let's just do both knees at once here, man.
But even the best players in the world are benefiting from these designs, especially the top end of the bag. He then moves to T100 for his 5-2 pitching wedge. And for his scoring clubs, he's got 3 Vokey SM10 wedges, a 52 F grind, 56 F grind, and a 60 L grind. The best players in the world take advantage of custom fitting to get their setup dialed and ready to perform at the highest level. Go to Titleist.com to find a fitting near you. On the LPGA Tour, we had a rain out this week. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about that. And on the Corn Ferry Tour, John Vanderlaan won the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship in Columbus. Deej, I'm going to throw it to you to kick us off.
Huber, he's kind of a flusher, huh?
He's always been good. I knew his time was coming, and nice to see him get it done today. So
I love it. Well, yeah, I think that we got to start with the man in the arena, our guy Justin Hueber. I woke up whatever the first day of match play was. Hubes, I follow you on Instagram, obviously, and so I'm like, oh, that's cool. Huber's playing a golf tournament. Like, it looks like the desert or something. Never even put two and two together. They're like, oh my god, this is the U.S. Mid-Am. I keep forgetting. I'm like, oh, that's right. He got his amateur status back. He's messing up amateurs all over the country now.
Well, can we start there?
Great,
can we start there with when did you formally retire as a professional and apply for reinstatement?
And
how long was that process?
Do I have any credit in this or blame for this? Was it after the Gasparilla that you caddied for me?
You have 100% blame. It is. If I was not there, I don't think this would have ever happened. But it would have been
2023.
I quit playing, and so I had hip surgery on my other hip, my second one in 2022. Set out the entire year. I played the Waterloo Open, and then I played Q School. And Q School missed it by a shot getting to final stage and said that was it. And then kind of sat on my thumbs for a little bit trying to figure out what I was going to do. Went to caddy for you at Gasparilla in February of 23. And that night we got back, and I could paint the picture on you made the turn from 18 to 1, and the leaders were on making the turn from 9 to 10. And I went over to get a couple high noons, and I was watching them tee off on 10, and there was like a couple hundred people around the tee box. And I had so much adrenaline watching these guys. And I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. Like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I got to do this. So when I got home that night, I don't even remember what time it was, but I'm probably up at like midnight. And I just got on the USGA website and typed in amateur reinstatement and read all the rules and whatnot. And that's when I filled out my application, was the night of the final round at Gasparilla. Thanks to you, Solly.
My
So
favorite
it
thing
was,
there in that tournament that week, there was a tee that I went back to and took a second ball with me. I remember, and you were just horrified by this, but I was like, you would actually
it
not be
shook
playing in
me.
the same
It
golf
shook me.
tournament.
You're like, I brought one
Hughes,
just in case. I was like, that is not what I need you to be thinking about right now.
Hughes, when you filled that out, like, what was that form like? Was
I
there any
Yeah,
stipulations
what's the
there? Or was it like,
process?
hey, we'll
Yeah.
just get back to you?
Yeah, so essentially, got on there, read all the rules about like what you have to do, and the waiting game is subject to USGA. So I get on there, read all the things, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to fill out my application. It may get turned down. I don't know like what their rules are on how long you play or how much money you make or
I don't
how
think they
many.
do either. So,
Well, there's a little system to it. So through the process, kind of learned a little bit more, but got on there and then just started typing in my career essentially, and said, I played Latin America in 15 and 16 and Corn Ferry.
two-time National Open winner,
That's
both
I
Colombia
could have
and
done.
You're not trying to
Mexico.
hype up your resume because you know the
I,
time's going to be longer.
I know. I almost did this podcast down in my office where I have everything like hung up in there, but I was like, we're gonna get too much flack for that when they see the Colombian Open champ, the Mexican
Guys, big
Open champ.
checks on the
I
wall.
don't want to. I don't
To
want to troll that hard, but
anybody listening, don't hate the player, hate the game in this
yeah,
scenario. All right, this is
yeah.
nothing is Huber's fault.
And I literally, so I went into it thinking it may just get rejected. It may be 5 years, it may be 7, it may be 3. I have no idea on the time frame. And so I fill in everything on the sheet and submit it. And it's like, all right, we'll get back to you once it's reviewed, and we'll let you know that it's been reviewed. So I wait. I'd have to go back and look at emails, but probably a couple months at least. And then it's like, hey, we've reviewed your thing. We'll have a ruling here shortly. I'm like, all right, sounds good. And then they came back and said, due to your last major tour event was Omaha in 2021. So that was the kicker. Since I set out with surgery all 2022, the Waterloo Open didn't count and Q School didn't count because they didn't make any money.
The
So it got
Waterbury
back
Open.
the Waterloo. It's the greatest event in Iowa. But it got backdated to Omaha of 2021, and they gave me 3 years. And it said, you'll be reinstated August 15th of 2024. And I'm like, all right, sweet. And I talked to Scott Langley and another guy from the USGA, like through this process of like, is it going to happen? What do you think? And he's like, it'll happen. I just don't know the time frame, whatnot. So then I get the 3 years, and I'm like, this is kind of perfect because I already set out and backdated it to the year I had surgery. So I really only have what 2.5 years really from the time that I sent in
Time
my
served.
application. Um, and then sure enough, I got a text from Langley on the 15th of August that said, feel free to sign up for whatever. And I had conversations with him beforehand because obviously if I'm getting reinstated, I was going to try to qualify for the US Mid-Am. And I wanted to play the USGA 4 ball with my little college kid, Justin Hicks. I shouldn't say little, he's just as big as I am, but with the college kid that I've been mentoring for a while, we
I
wanted
thought
to
you meant
play
Justin
last year.
Hicks, like the PGA Tour
Not,
player.
not,
Like, dude,
he got his
What is
satisfaction.
going on?
who's a pro
You
golfer still?
scumbags.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, he's a really good player, and it was kind of like the goal was like, hey, qualifiers. There's plenty of qualifiers after I get reinstated. This will be great. We can do it and play early this year. And I went back and forth with the USGA on it, and they're like, you have to be reinstated by the entry deadline. So I couldn't sign up for the US Mid-Am, and I missed the US 4 ball deadline by like 4 days or something like that. So couldn't do anything. And mind you, I haven't done anything in the past whatever it's
Also,
been,
you have
two
a
and a half
job.
years. I
Like,
have
you
a
have a
job.
Real job.
I worked in sales when we moved up here, and I traveled Michigan. I'd have to look at my GIN, but I played, I don't
gin.
know,
Gin. Come on.
Gin. Sorry, my gin. I probably played 15 rounds of golf the first year we moved up here, like very, very little. Then took a new job where I'm at now at Priority Life Care. My boss loves golf, and he's like, "Hey, you can play with our capital partners when we bring them in and whatnot. This will be great." And so I played significantly more rounds of golf with this job. But I mean, I got 3 kids and a wife that stays home, so I don't go practice or anything like that. Like I get done with work at 4:35. I come home. I may play on a Saturday. That's just kind of how it's been. And then when I got reinstated, the only thing I did, I played the U.S. Open local qualifier, and then I signed up for the U.S. Mid Am. And I mainly wanted to get my status back. I would say it's 50-50. I wanted to try to play in USGA events if possible, try to qualify. And I also wanted to play our city tournament, the Fort Wayne City tournament. It's like weirdly a big deal around here, and I never won it as a kid. And I played this year. This is the first year I was able to do it. It was the 100th anniversary. It's like a legit, like probably one of the oldest running city golf tournaments. I didn't win. Justin Hicks won. I shot 30 on the front nine the last day and just cooked everybody. So, but that was it. I wanted to play club championship at my golf course at Sycamore because they don't let pros play. And I wanted to play the city tournament and then see if I could qualify for a USGA event.
When is the
And
club championship?
I lost.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, there's some really good players. I lost to a kid that went to Ball State, Quentin Carpenter, in extra holes.
Yeah.
Very eerily similar to how the Mid-Am went down.
I think backing up just a little bit here, because I'm sure there's some people who maybe aren't as well versed in this conversation or haven't thought about this as much, who are maybe pulling their hair out about like, why would we ever reinstate pros? What is the point of this conversation? I think as far as I understand it, I think the basics are to provide a pathway for people. I mean, similar to what Justin just laid out, but also like club pros are essentially treated the same as, guys who have played on various tours for a couple years, right? I think offering somebody who went through a PGM program, technically turned professional, worked at a club, and, now wants to go play the types of events Justin's talking about. Like, I think that's the thing that made the light go off for me of like, oh, okay, this is a little more complicated than the way it seems.
Yeah, there's a lot more layers to it in terms of just like I didn't I'm not I didn't try to get my amateur status back because I felt like I held an advantage over everybody and was like, I'm gonna go win everything now.
I'm gonna go play the
Like
Masters now.
I like that is obviously the carrot. It's like if I played the Masters at 40 years old with a full head of gray hair and my little kids walking around in the par 3, like that would be
Dude,
incredible.
Huber,
and I would
just
not
the thought of that, I was giddy.
Not only that, I had times this week. I mean, Tron and I were texted where our Slacks blown up. It's like, what if he makes the Walker Cup team? Like, they're playing a Walker Cup again next year. There's not going to be another Mid-Am before the next Walker Cup. Like, what if Huber all of a sudden is just playing the Walker Cup at La Hinch next year? That'd be incredible.
All of it started going through my mind this week. Like all the scenarios started playing out. I was like, is this about to happen? Like, am I going to do this thing? But golf's a different game because anybody can turn pro. You could turn pro tomorrow and say, I'm going to be a professional. And so I think it's neat that they let you back. It's not like I signed some massive contract and was like, I'm playing on the PGA Tour for 10 years, like it would be in other sports to come back and play amateur level. It was my quote unquote job. It didn't work out. Whether that was injuries or I just didn't play well enough and I wanted to do something else with my life. This gives me an opportunity. I don't want to play the state open. Like, I don't want to play as a pro in the state open every year. Like that does nothing for me.
Because people probably don't know how competitive that is at the professional level. Like your state open is, if you're not practicing and like maintaining a sharp game, you can't be competitive.
I doubt I'm going to go win. And like that, I don't know. That doesn't lure me whatsoever. Like playing a pro scratch event as the amateur interests me. And where I get to play with one of my buddies. I did it at Sycamore a couple weeks ago with Mark Blakefield. He doesn't play golf anymore, but he's my pro. I'm the AM. And it's like the most fun 3 days of golf you can possibly have. And I wanted to be able to do things like that. The Mid-Am is just kind of a little cherry on top that I thought, I'm going to sign up and see if I can get in. And there's a lot to, me just qualifying for the event of how that went down that I don't even know if I've shared with you guys. But then obviously in the event too. We can get into all of it, but it provides us a pathway to play some type of competitive golf, whether that's USGA event or literally the club championship or the 4-ball scratch match play at the other club that I'm at. It's like, those are fun.
I think well, I want to get into your week, but I think I've seen this. I don't remember if we've ever said this out loud. I've seen this floated around a lot because I think we get down to the U.S. Mid-Am this year. 7 of the 8 finalists were former professionals. The champion, the eventual champion, Brandon Holtz, was a former professional as well. I think like the overall where everything you're saying makes sense. Where I net out is like the Mid-Am has become like the best of the quote unquote failed professionals, right? Like that.
Mhm.
And that's where I'm like, I don't know if that's that sexy of a story. Like the Mid-Am I thought was a kind of a sexy story of like, who is the above 25 guy who works in insurance that never played pro, that is the best amateur player in the country. That's a pretty cool story. So I think everything you're saying makes sense. I just wonder if like the Mid-Am, the US Mid-Am should be available to former professionals. Like that's, I think the potential question at play here. Like if you want to go back and play US Am stuff and like try to keep up with the college kids, that's one thing. But like beating up on the guys that
It sounded a lot like Lonto here. That's man. I wish Scotty wasn't at this event. Very interesting.
I'd be shocked to see.
You can't play the Mid-Am. I'm trying to play the Mid-Am.
I wish they did a full breakdown of the field of how many guys have played professionally. And I mean, even Evan Beck, I played with him the first 2 days. He gave it a go. Stu's probably the only one that's a big name that hasn't. I don't know about the Massa brothers or Cavalier or whatnot, but
I was gonna say, did Cavalier or Jeg Coughlin?
I don't know about Jeg.
Jag was a former pro.
Okay, yeah. I feel like that's the weird thing is because like I don't want this to sound bad, but like anybody that was pretty good in college that had a chance turned pro. Like
in some way,
I feel like the way the world works anymore, like no one's not going to give it a shot because there's so many avenues. You know, 20 years ago or 15 years ago when I turned pro, you had the Hooters Tour and the e-golf tour, and it wasn't that sexy of a opportunity. But now that Latin America gives Corn Ferry cards and it's not just relying on Q School, there's other avenues. Everybody that's pretty good at golf is going to give it a go. So
I'll say
there's a fine line.
I think my issue isn't so much the guy that was on the GB&I Walker Cup team this year, who played a full season on the Challenge Tour like a year and a half ago, basically, and he's on the Walker Cup team. That same cycle, like that to me is a little bit averse or against what the spirit of.
Yeah,
but also I think amateurism is such
it's a blurred line,
flawed concept these days anyway. I think like I was talking to Wolfie about it the other day. Back in like the 60s or 70s, like we would be considered pros because we're making money on our golf skills, not necessarily like ability to get the ball in the hole, but we are making money off of golf essentially.
There was a guy here in Fort Wayne that happened to, Scott Pieri. He was a professional, got his amateur status back, and then he did a commercial as he was an AM and got paid for the commercial. And boom, yanked his amateur status back. He had to turn pro again. He's now trying to make it on the Champions Tour and teaching here at home. But it was very strict back then. And now that I would say that it is a little blurred. I know the NIL stuff, people bring that up, but it's a interesting thing now that you can be an amateur and make a couple $100,000 in sponsorship deals and NIL stuff and still be an amateur. When I was a kid, you couldn't take a hole-in-one prize. Like if you won 50K for a hole-in-one, it was like you're out.
Do you think the line should be like, should there be I guess going back to your conversation with Scott Langley and those guys, what is the criteria? Is it, hey, you had a tour card for 5 years in a row, you got to sit out 5 years? Like what? How does it work? Is it objective or is it an eye test kind of thing?
I think it's based on how much money you've made and how many events you played. So if you played 300 events and made $3 million, I doubt they're giving you your status back. I highly doubt it.
Or
potentially ever. But I do know, I don't want to speak on specifics, but Blaine Barber is trying to get his back. And granted, he played the PGA Tour, what it was, 6-7 years ago, and had a decent career, made some good money.
Yeah.
And his was at least 5 years from when I think he tried to get reinstated last year, like filled out the application and he got 5 years. And I mean, John Peterson's another guy that
5
played
years
the
without
tour.
parole.
And it
Which
is.
really
Good
sounds
behavior.
like a
You
judge
got a 3.
They put you in a really weird spot though.
He
For
got
those years
5.
where you're waiting, you can't play anything. You can only play events that have amateurs and professionals. You can't take your amateur pro shop credit. You can't take a professional check. You just pay to play and you can go play, but you get
It's interesting.
literally nothing out of it, which is
Tough one,
fine.
though.
But it's like you're in a limbo where that's why I didn't play anything. I'm like, I'm not going to go pay to play a golf tournament for not even getting a couple dozen golf balls or a glove in the pro shop afterwards. Like it
Huber
just,
likes those tee gifts, baby.
Yeah, now you got
I
that
do,
hat.
baby.
Yeah.
I know. I got to keep figuring out which way to turn. But
The
no,
best is on the highlight clip of this episode is going to go on Instagram and no one's going to know the context of the hat.
Well,
oh man,
Going
But-
to the actual week itself. What were your expectations coming in?
So I back up to the qualifier real quick because playing the qualifier, first time doing it, my buddies are like, hey, this isn't like a Monday. Like you don't have to go shoot 6 or 7 under. Just go keep it around par and don't
Where'd
do
you
anything stupid.
play, and how'd you choose where you played?
Rock Hollow. It's
Okay.
an hour away. It was the only close one. And I have flexibility in my work schedule in terms of like PTO, but I had already gone out to Sunny Hana for the USAM local qualifier, which was incredible, by the way. Lost in a playoff at that one to a bunch of kids that are literally half my age. I lost to a kid that was 15. He was he was like a freshman in high school and he was so good. And I was like, oh gosh. And so I picked a close one that I could just do a day trip to and go down there. It was 95 degrees, super hot. Hadn't played the course since high school. Didn't play practice round. Get out there and was playing nice. I was 4 under through 10, kind of cruising. Had just made an eagle on 10, par 11 and 12, 3-putt 13 for par, and then 3-putt 14 for bogey. Sitting in the middle of the fairway on a par 5 15, blind second shot, wipe a 4-iron in the pond up by the green, make another bogey. So I'm like running a little hot. Look at my phone, check the scoreboard. Nobody's under par yet. I'm like, okay, like nothing stupid, just get it in the house. Play par
These guys
16
really
and
are
17.
amateurs.
Yeah,
These
I was like,
guys
this is way better. Normally, I'd be heading to the parking lot, but get on 18 and hit my drive, and had my good buddy, my neighbor Cody Cox, caddying for me, and it's big dog leg around the pond, and hit it out there. I don't know the line. Get up there, and I'm looking for my ball, and I'm looking like just through the fairway. It's kind of just rough over there in a couple trees, and I can't find it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I looked at the scores, and there were a 4 and a 3 already in. So now I'm like, I got to make a birdie. Find my golf ball like just barely off the fairway, hit it up on the green to make like a 15-foot downhill slider. So to post 3 under. So I'm like, all right, hopefully it's good enough. Go and end up another guy post 4. I go into a playoff and end up the guy hit a bad wedge shot in the bunker and made a bogey, and I made it through in the playoff. So it wasn't like I waltzed through and won my qualifier by like 4 or 5. So then it's like prep time for the mid-am.
What's your handicap? What do you have a handy? You said you had a gin. What is
4
your
and a half
He's playing off
right now.
He's playing off a 6 right now.
Yeah.
Sounds like Brendan DeYoung.
Yeah, did you
I
see
saw
that?
that.
Yeah.
Plus 1.9. That's tough. So getting ready for the week, I have a golf trip planned the Friday and Saturday before where we go out to Pikewood in West Virginia. We do it every year right before the pro scratch.
Pretty good
And mind
prep.
you, yeah. And I played like once a week, maybe no range time. Just like, you hit 5 balls before you go play and you go play 18, go home. So go out to Pikewood Friday and Saturday before, and then come straight back and play the pro scratch at Sycamore Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then fly out Wednesday morning for Arizona. So I was already
played
logged
some golf. Yeah.
a lot of golf. Get out there, and expectations, like I just wanted to make match play. Like I just wanted to have a chance and say I made match play, see what happens. And I texted you this, Solly. I had no business making match play. The guys I was playing with had to be like, this guy could not be a former professional. I hit it so bad. The first go at desert golf, so uncomfortable. Like every hole, it's fairway, 5 yards of rough, and then desert. But the desert's not like what you see at Waste Management, where guys are full swinging it out of there. It is cactus and bush and sticky stuff everywhere. Your ball
Rocks.
just finds it. I mean, I bet I hit 7 provisionals in the first 2 rounds of stroke play minimum.
Should have been taking 2 balls back to the tee all of a sudden.
Should have. I mean, fortunately, my caddy was there, but I was right. I went out. I bought 24 Strixon golf balls when I got out there. First time like paying with a credit card to buy golf balls, and I don't know how long. And I'm like burning through them. Like, I mean, it's like every other hole I'm, changing balls out because I got cactus stuck in it.
It would appear that
And
you bogeyed 4 of your first 8.
so I gotta tell the story.
It
So I'm playing with.
it was 2 courses. So you did Troon North first, and then
I played Troon Country Club the first day, and then Troon North the second day. First hole, Troon Country Club, and I just had the best range warm up that I've may have ever had. And I told my caddy Evan Ricky, I said, "Buddy, this is not good. If I hit it good in the range, I'm gonna be bad out there." First hole, driver right in the desert. Find it in a bush, take an unplayable, drop, plugs in the rocky sand, chop it out to 80 yards short of the green in the rough, hit it over the green, back in the collection area, and put it in from 40 feet out of the collection area for bogey. And Evan Beck goes, "Was that a 5?" And I'm like, and I had to do the 1, drop 2, 3, 4. And that's 5. Go to the second hole. Big bender left in the desert again. Another unplayable. Hit it right at the green on the side of this bunker where I'm got a baseball stance. Hit a chip to 20 feet, cash it for bogey. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I'll just give you a couple more holes on that. So they go to the next hole is a par 5, hit 3 iron off the tee. I'm like, I'm just got to get it forward. And was able to go for the green with 3 iron, miss it just short left. Got to kind of pitch it over this bunker. Boom, dump it in the bunker. Hit this awesome bunker shot out to 7 feet, make it for par. And then birdie the next hole. And the guys, I've 1 putted every hole so far. I technically 0 putt on the first hole, just pouring it in. And
this is truly a new Hueber.
And then 3 putt the next hole, the par 3, and then 6, I hit it to a foot. And the guys are like, shook.
What are you doing here?
Literally, what? Is this guy serious? And it was like that for 2 days. I'm talking wipey in the desert, unplayables, incredible pars. I'm getting up and down from jail and making every 10-footer. And I felt kind of bad because Jack Barber was the other guy in our group who's a really nice player and hit it awesome. Evan Beck didn't hit a single provisional. Jack hit 1. That was it. And I'm reloading on every single tee box, every other tee box probably. And I get done and I beat Jack. I didn't even know it. I just assumed that he beat me by 5. And I grinded out the last 4 holes of stroke play and get up and down on every single one of them, making 8 to 10 footers for par, and get done. And I'm like, hope it's good enough type deal. I see Evan Beck the next day on the range and make a joke to him bet you didn't think you were going to see me here. And it was, I would take that back. It was after I won my first match, and he walks up and I was like, "Sorry, man. I really don't think you thought you were going to still see me at this golf tournament." And he just he didn't know what to say. He just kind of laughed and was like, "Hey, yeah." But then I get into match play and win my first match pretty easily. The guy he was a good player, but he was a little nervous, I think, and kind of handed me some holes and got through that one. And so now I'm like, oh shoot, I'm 5 guys away from the Masters now. And it was stroke play. I'd have no chance. And so get to the next morning match and we start off the back 9 and I'm getting steamrolled. This guy, Grant Smith, couldn't be a nicer dude. And he's just not missing a shot. And I'm back to my desert ways and just, I mean, it's ugly. It's ugly early. And I'm trying to press it now. I'm hitting drivers when I punted so many times in stroke play, par 5, 600 yards. I hit 3 iron, 3 iron, 9 iron. I was I have to get it forward and on the ground.
To To be clear,
And
you're
so
5 down through 12 in this match.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I made the comment walking off 3 to my dad and my wife. They're out there watching. I said, "I am getting steamrolled," and they didn't like have anything to say. They're yeah, you,
But
Yeah,
you
no,
you
we
fly
did
are.
out.
not.
Yeah.
we
Did
booked
they
the
fly
flight.
out once you made match play?
No,
Or
they all came
yeah.
out Friday before. So it was like
Okay.
we were using this as a vacation. Like from
Gotcha.
work, I was like, I'm gonna go out and stay till the next Friday, no matter what, and probably have 4 or 5 days to hang out in Phoenix. Um, and then he's playing great. Like I don't think he's missed a shot, hasn't missed a fairway. He's hitting all the greens, and I'm just back and forth. And I get on 4. I birdie 4, and I'm like, all right, we got to start chipping away. Hit the green on 5, lag it up there to probably 4.5 feet. He's left in the bunker, no chance. Kind of hits it 30 feet by, misses it. I got a 4.5 footer, and I'm like, you got to make this. I horseshoe it like back to my feet, and now I'm like, all right, well, now you're 4 down with 4 to go. You got to win them all. Got a little gift on 6. He missed the green right in a bad spot, and I had like 15 feet for birdie. Win that one. 7, he hooks it left in the pond on the par 3 and drops at like 40 yards in the rough and hits it up to 5 feet. And my ball I'm standing in the bunker, and it's Bermuda rough. I wasn't sure what to expect out there. Bermuda fairways rough, but bent grass greens. So I was like, this is perfect. I have somewhat of a chance. But I'm in the bunker, grip down. I'm like a foot from the head of my club with a pitching wedge. And my last thought, I kid you not, was Ben Griffin got this up and down to win Colonial. You can get this up and down. Like audibly said it to myself, and was able to bump it up there to like tap in. He gave me the putt. And then I made a disgusting birdie on 8 out of the desert again, hit a 9-iron from the sandy rocks to like 4 feet, and then went to 9 and hit another good shot in there to probably 10 feet and made it. And my adrenaline at that moment was like greater than anything I experienced in professional golf. I told my wife, I could dunk on 12 feet right now. Like my neck, my heart was pulsing through my neck. I'm like, I've never been this excited. Like, I don't know what this is, but I like this. This is really fun.
Huber, at that point, I was texting with Graham and Sean Martin. And I was like, he was dormant, or yeah, the other guy was dormant. And he's like, no, TC. Sean said, no, TC, that's wrong. You can't be dormant with the thing of a playoff. I think
Yeah,
it's just
with the extra holes or
dormant
whatever.
is just if the win is out of the equation for the other person.
Yeah, I had to win them all, and then was able to get him. He made an incredible like bogey on 1. I thought he hit it left first drive out of play all day, and he was able to hit it backwards in the fairway. I lipped out a 4-footer for par, and I'm like, oh no, like this
That was
can't
to win the
happen again.
match.
That was to win the match. And go to 2, he hits it left in the desert again. Hit 2 bad drives in a row, first time all day. And I've been left on 2 twice already, and it's not good. I'm unplayable both times. And he's like nice over there, like just left of the cart path somehow, full like clear swing, and he hits it short of the green. Had to chip it because there were sprinkler heads, and missed like a 6-footer for par, and I 2-putted and was able to win. And now I'm like 4 guys left. Like this is weirdly happening, and I don't know what to do about it. And then played a good buddy of mine, Michael Buttacavalli, in the afternoon match, and I was getting texts like, "What is this? Circa Columbia 2016? Like you versus Buddha again? Like 2 Latin American Hall of Famers?" Is why I was getting all these texts. Like this is a battle of Mexico
Taco
all
tour.
over again. And I finally played nice. Like it was the first 18 holes that I played like good golf and kept it in play. And now I'm like encouraged. I'm like, if we do this again, like
Wait a second here.
now dad might be back. I don't want to say it, but I might be back. And then, yeah, your brain starts to move. And after I won that, I realized that I was exempt into next year, which was huge. And I was like, coming to Wisconsin,
Sand
like
Valley,
it's a
baby.
win. It's a
Yeah.
win of a week already. And then, yeah, I played the eventual champion the next day and played really solid. I didn't have a hole over par until 14, and just kind of was like, I'm going to stick to the game plan.
It seemed like a lot of pars, right?
I did. And I hit a lot of nice putts. He made some bogeys early. I had some putts to win holes, and I hit them nice. The greens are very tricky out there, where if you play break, like if you play what you think is the high line, they stay high. So then you tighten them up, and then they'll kind of dive. It's a little tricky to read. And I had several of those where I'm like, looks pretty straight or right edge or whatever, and it would stay high right edge and not break. And then the next one I'd play straight and it'd break to the low edge. Did that quite, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times in the first 13 holes. But I'm 3 up through 13 and sitting in the middle of the fairway on 14 and made a bad swing. That's the one thing, the one I'd like back was that shot. But made a bad swing, hit it over by the frickin' wall in the rocks, and dropped it from there. But then we both parred 15, short little par 3, maybe one of my favorite par 3s I've ever played.
Mm.
It was like 115 yards, 120 yards, kind of a 3-tier green, but small, guarded by bunkers. It was just an awesome hole.
Both
And
those
I
courses are
spun,
Weiskopf, right?
I think. Don't quote me on that, but Troon Country Club was fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of desert golf. Doesn't really, not how I prefer to play the game, if you will. I like to have the driver out. And to Brandon's credit, he kept hitting driver, and he hit it. We get on 16, and this is like he did what he needed to do, but he hits a driver on 16. He's, what is he, 2 down with 3 to go, and tries to drive the green, and he hits a big cut, and it's heading right, and the cart path is there, and there's desert, and then there's the road, and I'm like, holy cow, he just hit it out of play. And he's frustrated. He hits a provisional, hits it left in the rocks. And I'm like, I'll hit my 5-iron down the fairway. We get up there, and I'm thinking, like, it's turning in my head. I'm like,
Where do I stay in Augusta?
I'm
like, where do I get a,
I'm like,
do I
you
need to
know?
get a house?
Butler
Yeah.
cabin or whatever that is? And get up there, and his ball's like a yard left of the cart path in play in the rough. Like, it must have hit soft and just stuck there. I hit a bad wedge and one hopped it over the green to a back left pin. He hits this chip, hits a nice pitch, but it's like straight down the whole way there, and it's gonna roll off the green like to the fringe. Smacks the flagstick and goes to a foot, and I'm like, and then I go to 17, and he hits a perfect drive again. I hit it a little right, lands in the rough, hops just in the desert. Naturally, get up there, and I'm straight behind a cactus, have to chip out. He hits a hybrid up, and it runs it up on the green, makes birdie. So now we're tied. And like, I'm angry, like internally pissed, but like motivated. I'm like, I'm gonna make birdie on this hole. I have to make birdie. I'm gonna make birdie. Finally hit a good tee ball. He does too. I get to go first, and I hit a wedge in there, pin high, 12 feet probably. He steps up again, hits it to 2 feet. And I'm like, gosh dang it, man. Like, thought we were AMs here. Like, what are we hitting a tap in for? And mind you, earlier in the round, the only birdies he made, he literally hit it to tap in, like gimmies. He didn't putt a single birdie putt that went in. And I made the putt, fortunately, and was like pretty pumped, gave him his. We went to the extra hole. He hits a driver perfect on 10 again, and I laid up, which I hate to say it, but it's like, I wasn't going to hit the fairway. I'm just going to be honest. I was going to be in the right desert. The wind was off the left, and I'm like, this has no chance. I hit it on the green, misjudged it a little bit, probably had 20, 25 feet, and he hit it to that again. I missed, and I made him putt it. But that was it. And then it was it went from like, I was super pumped to be there, super pumped to make match play because I had no business making match play, and then kind of got on a roll. And then you start to think like, I might have a chance at this. And granted that the rest of the guys in the field are really good players, but then I was extremely disappointed. And then the hangover the next day of like, all the adrenaline's gone. I just walked 140 holes and walked like 60 miles in 100-degree heat, and my body hurt so bad. I had blisters, my fingers hurt, and I couldn't hardly get out of bed the next day. It sucked, but all in all, like,
It had to be one of the most memorable golf tournaments you've ever
what
played.
a ride. It was, I hate to, it was the most fun I've ever had, because it didn't matter for like my livelihood. And like, granted, I had some cool moments where I was able to win some professional events and did some cool things. But this was like, I left and was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever done. Like, hands down, I would do that every year, only that, if I got to do that and be the happiest human to play golf in just that event.
And you're going to be dangerous when it gets back to, East Coast tree
To
lines.
grass.
Yeah. Oh, wait till
I
you
mean, what-
get
kind of a
to the Lido,
strange-
man, where you can hit it all over the place.
Yeah.
It's great.
Kind of a strange venue for the mid-am. Like that
It
it kind of sticks out a little bit.
It was didn't know what to expect with desert golf, and it was definitely interesting. I had visions that it was going to be like Waste Management, where guys still hit driver a bunch and kind of long, whatever. It was not that. A lot of fairways just ended at 280, and so you didn't even have a chance to really bang the driver.
That week notwithstanding, like how has your game evolved or changed since you stopped playing professionally? Since you stopped playing every week and practicing and all of that?
I mean, I said this the other day. Like, I literally have gone to the range twice this year, and both to like practice, and it was awful. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I don't even know what to work on. I had actually texted Tim Cook, my swing coach from years past, and was like, hey, can I upload some videos and you just like tell me what you think? I didn't have a face on video for a year and a half on my phone. Like, literally a year and a half. Hadn't taken one. It's about what you'd expect. I can still make a bunch of birdies, but I also am very keen on making a double.
Like the ceiling's still
The good is
high,
still
but the
good.
floor is a
The
lot
bad
lower.
is like, I hit shots and I'm like, I don't know what that was, and I don't know how to fix that.
I'm an amateur now, baby.
Yeah, like
Welcome to
I
the party.
bladed a wedge, like four-headed a wedge in the tournament in stroke play, and got up and down from over the green in the back bunker for par. Just like, I mean, the thing rolled, like landed front of the green and just zipped over into the back. Like, the good shots are still really good. The bad shots are just exponentially worse. Putting, somehow the putter is like awesome. And I kid you not, I have not spent 5 minutes on a putting green in 2 years. Like, I just haven't.
Maybe that was the
And
secret.
Yeah,
that must have
exactly.
been. I used to practice it, and my speed sucked, and I don't feel like I was a great putter. And now I don't know if it's just the bent grass, but you give me a 15-footer, and I feel pretty good that I can get it started
Got a new
online and
kind
make
of boots.
I'm
Got a new kind of roots.
Oh,
yeah.
man. It's
It's,
a true joy to hear you talking about it. I'm already looking forward to. I got to get up to Sand Valley and watch next year. I'm so glad you got into next year's event. That's going to be so fun. Anything else you're
pumped.
going to play, you think?
I'll try. Well, I don't know how the whole mid-am circuit works still. Like, I had a buddy reach out and he's like, you got to try to play in the Crump Cup. And I'm like, I mean, I would not turn that down by any stretch of the imagination, but I highly doubt that
Mr.
one
Crump, if you're listening, I would love
mid-am tournament
love
gets me in
love
the
to play in
Crump
your
Cup.
Crump. Yeah.
There's a few. I'd like to play Gasparilla. I'd like to make a vacation with the family out of that and go see her family next year, just because that course looked so fun to play.
It's got redone.
Doing
It's
it
totally
right.
different now. Yeah.
Weed
They-
man, right?
They tore everything up. It's completely redone. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
gonna
sure
be
it'll be great,
pretty
but
similar, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was the moment. That was watching you there, and
That was my
seeing those
retirement
guys.
moment too. I passed the baton to you.
Oh man, that was just seeing guys. I don't know how this will sound, but seeing guys compete for the love of the game
Yeah.
was so refreshing because it became work. And people can say like I failed as a professional golfer. I don't think of it as a failure. I had a fun ride doing what I love to do, and then it became true work, and my body didn't hold up, and I I played 3 years longer than I should have. I was miserable from 2019 on. I mean, my last good year was 2018. Then I had hip surgery, and then from then on, I truly didn't enjoy it at all. I enjoyed Monday to Wednesday and hanging out with my buddies playing practice rounds, and I liked to practice back then. But then come Thursday, I didn't enjoy it, and so seeing you guys down there just competing and playing golf, I was like, holy smokes! Like, I want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I want to find the joy in that again, and this definitely brought it back.
For those listening on the pod, just to be clear, I used quotes, air quotes, for failed professionals early on, and I don't consider you to be a failed professional.
No,
There are some health factors that were extremely limiting for you, but
it would have been.
It's also hard to hear you talk about that and be like, yeah, he shouldn't be able to play in this, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Like I don't care if people don't think I should play. If they told me I couldn't, I obviously wouldn't. I don't know what their exact strategy is on letting guys back in, but I'm thankful that they did, and thankful that I can play in this, and play my club championship and a couple other fun little amateur events.
What's been the rest of the kind of transition into civilian life been like for you? How have you life after pro golf? What's that been like?
Major adjustment. The first job I had, I traveled a lot. I thought I would like it because of the travel, and I've always traveled. And then once I realized like I didn't have to really travel anymore, I didn't love the travel aspect. And I was like, I kind of just want to be home now. Like, we got 3 kids. I got my 2 boys are 6 and 4. My little girl just turned 2. And I don't even make it in the driveway before they greet me on my way home from work. And it's like, I don't want to be gone. Took this new job, and it's way more. I travel a little bit, but it's nowhere near what I was doing. And I go to work at 8 o'clock, and I come home at 4:30 and hang out with the boys for a couple hours. We play basketball, we shoot our bows in the backyard, and have a fun time. And then they go to bed, and I answer some emails and go to sleep. And that's pretty much what my life looks like. And it's been a blessing because I've been a better dad because of it. Like, the last couple of years playing professionally, the stress of it, and my mind was just in not a good place. And it's kind of helped me out in multiple areas to have regular civilian life and get to do that.
Man,
And it's nice too. Like, up here in the wintertime, like, I like to deer hunt. So I play the US 4-ball qualifier on Thursday with Justin Hicks. After that, the clubs go away, and I probably won't touch them. Like, this past year, I played 1 round in October, and I didn't touch my clubs until April. Like, they just sat in the garage.
which is
How
A
nice
full
was
like
that?
6.5 months off,
yeah,
where
which is the
it
most
was
fun round of the year
amazing.
when you come back in
It,
the first one in April.
This
the,
is one of the worst targeted people to ever do this to, but I got an activity for you this winter if you want it. When it comes to golf, you can go. You don't need this, but you can go to the stacksystem.com/NLU. You can use code NOLAYINGUP to get 10% off your bundle. I've been trying to get this ad read in for 20 minutes here, but you've just been absolutely slaying us here with your storytelling. Listen, this is a wonderful, wonderful training tool if you have an upcoming winter where you don't want to touch your golf clubs. If you want to stay in golf shape, it takes 30 minutes to do, 15 minutes to warm up, 15 to 20 minutes maybe to do the routine. You swing light weights, you swing heavy weights. It gamifies it for you. It tells you exactly when you should be doing your workouts. It tells you how long to rest in between reps. It sends you encouraging messages. It keeps track of all your stats for each weight. And when you hit that it just feels great when you hit that new personal speed goal. You'll start yelling out things at the screen as it happens. Maybe you won't, but I cannot confirm or deny whether or not I've done that. It's a great training tool to help keep your golf muscles busy during the winter. www.thestacksystem.com/NLU for a bunch of information, and code NOLAYINGUP is going to get you 10% off that bundle. Great wedge tools, great putting tools as well. I probably talked too much about the speed, but that's where I've seen the biggest payoffs. So check it out, stacksystem.com/NLU, code NOLAYINGUP.
Huber could be like me. Could be a garage net guy. That's how I spend my winters. Just hitting those wedges into the net.
You would like the wedge part. It's
stack
fun.
wedges.
Speaking of the stack system, I need to get my speed back up.
Really?
Like, it is significant drop.
Okay. Maybe it is
like
for you.
I think it would be. Like, I bet. I mean, I used to cruise probably in the low 120s, like, pretty effortlessly. Ball speed was low to mid 180s. I can't sniff 180. Like,
Really?
if I give it everything I got. I don't think I saw. I played
poocher.
Yeah, I'm a little poofer.
Big tall guy that it's just bunting it
a
up.
little lazy. Just poof.
I can't even picture that for you. That's
It's
crazy.
It's like I feel like I'm giving it everything, and it'll be like 117. And
How
I'm
much
like,
of that is the second hip surgery?
So that's the silver lining is I have no pain anymore, like in my hips. But it's also I've found it to be rather difficult because I don't have a stopping point in my backswing anymore. Before, like my hip just stopped rotating. It physically couldn't go any further. So I always had a short backswing and I could generate speed. And now I'm like John Daly esque. Like I can turn into my right hip and it just never stops. And my only swing thought while I was out there was like try to make a 3/4 swing. And it's the hardest thing ever. It used to be just so effortless. But yeah, that's a part of the issue that I got going on right now.
I think we gotta get some of your rounds on camera here. I think we've had so many of you, commentating. I was thinking about that. I was like, God, I wish we could just rush a camera out there, just film one of these matches, so we could flip it. We might need to do that at Sand Valley next year. That'd be
If
really
you would
fun.
have seen the stroke play, if that would have been on camera,
Be
it
like that
almost
poosh
needed to
round
be,
at
so no
Pacific
one would
Youth.
believe it. I mean, it was.
Who's caddying for you next year at Sand Valley? Maybe we should get one of us on the bag and then we'll film it.
I think
I already
Evan will run it back next year. You'd be hard pressed to get him off of there.
We could be fourth and fifth reserves, though. I think.
Okay.
For
Right.
sure.
He's
Yeah.
trying to get that Masters invite,
Yeah,
solid.
exactly. Exactly.
It would,
would've
I
gotten
would
fifth.
welcome.
How many people would have offered to caddy for you at Augusta if you'd have made that? My dad
Yeah.
probably would have offered.
I probably had no less than like 40 people being like, "Man, I can't wait for
Hey,
Augusta.
man, no, it's been a
Like,
while.
I
Just
need
checking in."
tickets. Like, can't wait for tickets to Augusta." And I'm like, "All right, I don't think I get unlimited."
Oh man.
Um, it
Well,
would have been awesome. I definitely would have had to practice because I would have gotten destroyed if
Hughes,
I hit it anything like that.
what's the meanest message you got from somebody?
Just this is kind of funny. So I saw some guy on Twitter. Someone texted me and was like, "Are you seeing this?" And I never get on Twitter. Like I don't even have the app. It's like I have to
you're
log
missing
in
out.
on.
It's in a good spot right now.
Well, I got on there and was like, okay. And then the one guy was like, "How is Justin Huber playing in the mid am?" And then it was like bump round 16, bump round 8. And then I like had it typed out as I was walking down the freaking 16th fairway, and I was going to tweet back at him, bump round 4. And like, then I lost. So I was like so excited to just chirp back at him. I don't know. I get it. I don't know who the people are that are like, that don't want us playing. If they don't let any of us play, I don't want to say it, but the level of golf is not going to be great because most players in that field have tried to play professionally at some point.
Yeah.
Now you could go down the Corn Ferry rabbit hole or PGA Tour rabbit hole. I don't have any stance on that. I was happy that it was 3 years and it wasn't 5 because chances are when I'm 40, I'm not going to be doing this. Like I told my wife that when I went out to the USAM qualifier, I said, the thought of this is really cool. The actuality of this is actually not very cool. Like I'm leaving to go play a qualifier and I don't really want to do that anymore. I said I'll probably do this for 2 years and then I'll play the city tournament and the club championship and try to get my name on the wall at Sycamore Hills.
10 years, like fast forward 10 years, he's like the Omar Uresti of
Exactly.
I would like to play USAM. That is like one thing. That's the one I never got to do. I played a couple US juniors. USAM, I really wanted to play it this year because Olympic Club is where I played my first USGA event. So I was all pumped to do it, and then got beat by a bunch of high school and college kids in the playoff.
Well, what do you think, Hubert? We're gonna transition, talk a little more PGA Tour golf. You want to hang out and BS for a little bit?
Let's do it.
All right, guys.
I'm here. I love it.
Which one other thing? I think the USGA, like we should have Langley on
for sure.
to just talk about.
I felt so
you
bad.
know,
We just accosted him at
we
Cypress.
went after him at the.
It was a
locker
little bit
room.
of like, "Hey, how are you guys?" And we just got in his
Hey.
face about this reinstated AM.
I want to talk.
Ask him
I want to
questions.
talk to you about this
Yeah,
shit.
he's the best.
He'd be
He
a
might
great
one of my
one to
favorite
have.
people.
He's a great
Yeah.
guy.
'Cause I think they
I've
just
gotta-
need to play offense a little bit and say, hey, here's what we look at. Here's the philosophy behind it. It's not just put your finger to the wind or,
It's-
hey, we recognize we need more clarity around this or that.
Mhm. For sure. And I think that would be great. I mean, just to say, if you played 150 major tour events, then it's minimum 7 years. If it's 100 events, then it's minimum
Mandatory
5 years
minimums,
or whatever.
baby.
That's right.
Yeah. But I have to say, like, the USGA did an incredible job. Like, I haven't played a USGA event since I was 16 or whatever it was, my second US junior. And they are so well done. It's incredible. Like, it was special. It truly was. This will go down as like maybe one of maybe my fondest golf memory was this.
That's great.
I love it. Well, listen, now that you're not a pro golfer, I feel like you can weigh in on pro golfers a little bit more.
Now you can huck real takes.
that's
You don't
what
have
we're-
to be
I can
politically
toss them
correct.
out there.
That's what we're about to do. I was texting you guys earlier. I feel like we never really, the PGA Tour is such a weird spot because we don't, it ends at the Tour Championship. The season's kind of over, but we've got the fall, and you just never quite like close the book. So I wanted to look at kind of stopping at the Tour Championship. Let me just pick a couple things that we want to linger on a little bit. I'm going to throw out some stats, and I basically want to hear you guys say whether that stat next year is going to be more or less or the same. This makes sense as we go. But before we get there, I want to, there's three stats these are just disconnected things that I stumbled on that I thought were fun. We can move through these quick. First one, I'm going to throw out this number, $9,163,312. Anybody guess what this is in reference to? $9.2
How much money Huber made
million
in his
dollars.
professional
It's
career.
Justin Huber's career earnings.
Yeah.
No, this is the gap between number 1 and number 2 on the money list this year. $9.2 million was the difference between Scotty Scheffler and Tommy Fleetwood this year. There are only 9 players on tour this year that even made that much money. So again, there's just we say this on the pod all the time. Like, I don't know how to keep illustrating how good Scotty's been. There's another one for you right there.
Do you know who the 9 are?
Does that include the $10 million?
No, it doesn't. TC, that doesn't.
Tommy won.
No, it does. No, but it also doesn't
Strictly
include the
tournament winnings.
10 million that Scotty won for this and that and all the other bonuses. And
So the Tour Championship, that's still not official money.
I don't think it is. I don't know, actually.
I would think it would be if
Now
it
I
was
think
that
I'm sorry.
close.
I think it is official money because I'm guessing that's how Tommy got to second on the money.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, that makes Scotty's
Even
$9
more
million
impressive.
gap even more impressive
Yeah.
because
So it
Tommy
won't
won $10 million in the last event.
Exactly. So it won't include Scotty's like Comcast money or whatever, but yeah, I think it does include
What about the Wyndham?
Tour Championship.
Did he get any
Doesn't
Wyndham
include that
rewards?
either.
Or the BMW bonus or the FedEx St. Jude bonus. He got bonuses for being in first after each of those.
Or the Aon Risk Reward Challenge.
The only players, Solly, that made that much money this year.
I was gonna see if we could try to guess them, but I mean, I don't know. Like, probably JJ Spawn was one, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Ben Griffin,
Yep.
Rory.
Yep.
We have Tommy and Scotty.
Yep. Yep.
Come on.
9 million.
There's what, 3 more, I think? You didn't say JT, did you?
No, JT.
JT's on there.
Justin Rose.
Sepp Straka.
Sepp Straka is on there. There's one more guy, just absolute best businessman on the PGA Tour.
Oh, the
Cantlay?
patent hat.
Russell
Cantlay.
Henley.
Cantlay.
Patrick
Whoa.
Cantlay.
Well, I mean,
9.4
Cantlay
million.
made a
Justin
ton
Rose
of
was number
money
10,
at Eastlake.
8.4. TC, I wanted to throw this one in here for you. In reference to quote the TC. This is something that came up on our goals podcast. It's now infamous. Tron saying that he had the goal to make 5 birdies in a row, quote, more often. Not only does he want to make 5 birdies in a row, he wants to do it more often. There were just under 500 players on the PGA Tour this year that made a birdie.
Moon, baby.
There are just under 500 players on tour that made a birdie this year. How many do you think made 5 in a row? Once.
25.
4. Yeah, 4. More?
More. 45. 45
Whoa.
players made 5 birdies in a
Whoa.
row this season. I believe the record.
How many did it multiple
was Adam
times?
Hadwin. I didn't have that data in front of me. I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't know.
Justin Ray, if you're listening.
Yeah, please get at me on that one. I just, TC, I think it's more.
How'd you find that one? How do you dig? How do you get it?
Well, I looked up the consecutive birdies stat.
Okay.
Found the people who capped out at 5 or more.
Did anybody go more?
Yeah, Adam Hadwin made 7, I think.
It's 7 in a
Yeah.
row.
That's a new goal for you for next year.
Huber, what's the most you've ever made in a row?
Ooh. I don't know that answer.
I don't think I've ever
Shot
made
at a
5 in
time.
a row.
I was 9 under through 8 in a Monday qualifier one time, but
Did
I
you make
had
it?
a par in there. I did.
Okay.
Did you freak out after that?
Well, the guy, I kind of panicked, and I'm like, we're walking to the back nine, and the guy's like, I shot 3 under, and he beat me by 6. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know what to do from here. But like,
If you cowboy hat.
yeah. But speaking of the guy that
Howdy.
ended up winning, he birdied the last 4 holes in our match, and then he birdied the next 4 to start the afternoon match.
That's what
So
we're talking about.
he had 8.
Yeah.
Gosh, TC, and
He was
I
nice.
would be remiss if I didn't ask if you have done it this year once or multiple times.
I've done 4 in a row twice this year.
Ooh.
That's impressive.
But I haven't cracked 5. I'll be honest, I started freaking out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now it's just it's taking on such a life of its own.
Yeah.
All right, this one makes me a little I don't know, a little blue for some reason. I don't know why, but this is another financial number here. $13,017,400. There's no way you're going to guess this. So I'll just tell you. This is the amount of money needed for Rory in 2026 to pass Tiger on the all-time career money list. That is just, I feel like I got that before all the purses went like crazy. That early career money list of just, it's Tiger, it's Phil, it's VJ, it's Furyk, like that was cemented in my head for so long.
It meant something.
It really meant
cool.
something. And now it's just, these guys are
Inflation.
blow past him.
Has Scotty gotten to it?
Scotty would need
he's got to 100 million.
Scotty would need $21.5 million this year, and for reference, he made $27 million.
Yeah, that's insane
this year. So
he's like right at 100 million.
Yeah, he is. So I guess we can place bets. Do one or both past Tiger. Rory would need 13. He made 17.
Yeah,
like past Tiger in 2026 or past Tiger at all?
Pass him obviously eventually.
Yeah,
but
they both get it next year.
I think they both will. Yeah,
I would think so too. Again, just saying that out loud, that means Scotty would have to make $21.5 million again, which that transitions
probably below average the last 3 years
into the Scotty Scheffler section here. Scotty, of course, played 20 events this year. He finished in the top 10 in 17 of them. Again, top 10 in 17 out of 20 events. The 3 that he didn't: T25 at Phoenix, T11 at Bay Hill, T20 at the Players, which means since mid-March, his worst finish is T8. Of course, we know he won the PGA. He won the Open. He led the tour in a million different stats. Proximity, hits it 4 feet closer on every approach shot than the average tour player. That's so much. He was 4th inside 100 yards, 1st from outside 100 yards. He's 1st in scrambling, 1st in bounce back. Obviously leads in scoring average. I like this. He also leads every round of scoring average. So best in first round scoring average, best in second round scoring average, best on Saturdays, best on Sundays.
That's insane.
He's also best early scoring average, best late scoring average, best par 5.
He didn't even play very well the first 2 or 3 months of the season.
Best par 5 scoring average, best par 4 scoring average, 2nd in par 3 scoring average.
Who?
There's no way you will ever guess who is first.
Aaron Rye.
That's a decent guess. Antoine Rosner.
Oh my God.
Which was the scatter plot I sent to you guys earlier today. Just massive outlier, very below average on everything except for approach. I think he just ball strikes it. Yeah. When you put him on the tee box, just hitting an iron shot into a par 3, he is dialed. He beat Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, it has to be on the tee.
Under par?
I don't remember. That's a good. I will look that up.
I think that would have to be. I don't think Scotty was over par on par 3s.
That'd be a fascinating stat.
I know scoring average is high on par 3s, but
if they kept this stat of when it's ball in hand, if Antoine Rosner is like a ball in hand, lift clean in place specialist.
That's a good question. Rosner 2.96 on the par 3s. A couple more Scotty ones. He's now made 64 consecutive cuts. Again, I know this doesn't mean quite as much, but with these guys playing a bunch of no-cut events. Second only to Xander. Xander's now 72 or something like that. Saul, I think you're going to like this one. Our final round performance stat. Did you stay the same or improve during the final round?
Mm-hmm.
Scotty does that 85% of the time.
Sure.
85%
That's
of
so
the
hard from first place.
85% of the time, his position on the leaderboard improves or stays the same in the final round. That is obviously the best on tour. Tommy second on tour in that stat, which I don't know if that
Really?
hurts or helps your case, TC, for all the backdoor finishes. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I think
do
that-
not get excited about this. Do not as your attorney, TC. Do not incriminate yourself. Do not comment any
No,
further
but
on this.
I would
No,
have thought. Hold on. In the past, I like setting aside the last few months. In the past, that would have been. I feel like people would have shit on him, for that. I think looking at the last 3 months or so, Tommy was in the lead or right around the lead going into the final round a bunch. So
yeah.
I feel like that's a step forward for him.
So last thing, we're rounding up to our actual question here. Let's do some strokes gained stuff. Strokes gained tee to green. Scotty's first. Strokes gained off the tee. He's first. Strokes gained approach. He's first. Strokes gained around the tee. He's 16th. Strokes gained putting this year, 18th on the PGA Tour. Going back,
and this is raw PGA Tour, not field adjusted stuff. His ratings would be better on field adjusted stuff if that was available.
So what I was going to ask is next year, 18th, are we going to see him higher or lower than that in strokes gained putting? Is
I
this
think
a
we see him
sustainable thing?
better.
Is this go backwards? What do you guys think?
I think we see him better than that personally. I feel like he struggled with his putting. He had a couple spells this year. His head wasn't on the bag for some of it. It seemed like he was getting really frustrated at times, and he still finished 18th. I think he's just starting to unlock the putting.
I think it would have to go backwards from that. He was field adjusted plus 0.62 per round, which I think is probably top 5 in the game. I'd have to double check that this past year. And I would just think there's only kind of one way to go from there. I
Are
think
you saying he's going to play against more mules next year, or?
No, I just think he had a ridiculous. Scotty stuff aside, like his putting year was like better than like a Xander year.
For reference, his past rankings here: 2020, he was 117th. 2021, he was 107th. 2022, he was 58th. 2023, 162nd. 2024, he was 77th. Jumped all the way to 18th this year. So
I think I'm going with TC on this.
Yeah. Only
He's
gets
got
better.
the claw, and his speed is so good. I think he sniffs the top 10 next year.
What about wins? Won 6 times this year. Do we think we get more wins, less wins, the same amount of wins?
That's such a good number,
right?
I bet that the over/under's got to be 6.5.
Which
and I'd take
crazy.
7. I'd take the over. I'm going.
I think
over.
the only thing that I think I worry about a little bit next year is guys like Morikawa and Xander played really poorly this year, and I feel like those are some of those tier 2 challengers kind of spit the bit this year on him, and I don't know if that's going to be the case moving forward.
I feel like he's starting though to get the kind of Tiger aura though.
No.
Is like Scotty's up here, he's going to win. Like it feels like that as a fan, where it's like, sure, Scotty, he's up by the leaderboard again. He's clearly going to win this. I bet he gets at least 7.
I want to say under just because you're more likely to go backwards, but also he didn't win for the first quarter of the year because he put his hand through a wine
The
glass.
ravioli period.
The ravioli period.
So I was digging into the numbers today. I was trying to come up with a question around this, and I think it's just clunky because it gets kind of mathy and it's just a lot of numbers. So stick with me here. I am not a data scientist. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, how statisticians would approach it. But I basically went in 6-month blocks. So starting now, going back 6 months, and then another 6 months, and another 6 months, and another 6 months. And I compared his true strokes gained to the next 10 best guys, the average of the next 10 best guys. So not even like a Morikawa falls out. I'm not sticking on Morikawa consistently, just literally who are the 10 best guys. And the gap over the last 6 months is so much wider than it's ever been. It just keeps getting so much better. Those gaps going back to
the putting, right?
It has to be. Going back to September of 2022. So the first block was September of 22 into March of 23. 0.84, 0.56, 1.53, 1.12, 0.93 during the ravioli period, and then 1.77 over the last 6 months is the difference between him and the 10 best guys. It's just, I don't know. Again, I know that's probably easier to see visually, but it's just shocking how much it just keeps getting better. So again, it's like it's going to peak at some point, obviously, but I don't know, man. The trend line is kind of only going one
That's
way.
that's people have underestimated. He basically turned into Cam Smith with the putter this year. Like
Right. Yeah.
on top of being the best ball striker in the world.
Yeah,
You get enough of those looks, you're bound to figure them out.
that's right.
I don't know.
All right. Well, that's the Scotty section. That's obviously the longest one. We can fly through the rest of these here. We gotta
Huber,
talk.
or you don't, and you just you're like VJ.
I, I think he's here to stay for like at least 4 or 5 years of 4 to 5 wins minimum.
Until he gets
He just
bored
doesn't
of
have a
playing pro golf,
weakness.
gets his amateur status back.
Yeah.
How many
I'll
years do you think
see.
it would take for Scotty to get his amateur status back? 25, 30? I mean,
There's a limit to where they won't.
what if they
let
told
you.
him
I
you
think-
cannot touch a golf club for 25 years? and
I
then
think
we'll give you your
Bryson's the only
amateur
one that's got
status?
a shot at that because he's going to live till he's like 140, right?
True.
So I
Yeah,
think
exactly. Oh man, that's a great question.
I'd like to see the breakdown of what Scotty's time frame would look like. When he gets to be 170, he can play the senior am.
All right.
What if Bryson just stops playing tournaments and he just focuses on his channel? He could get his amateur status back.
it's the rumor I
think-
heard, TC. It's the rumor I
That's
heard.
what I'm hearing too. Could be a negotiating tactic.
I
but
believe that's more likely to be the case, but yeah.
Well, speaking of YouTube stars, let's talk about Tommy Fleetwood. Career year for Tommy, obviously 19 events, finished top 25 in 15 of those 19 events. Very good stuff. Missed only
Jeez.
one cut all year. Unfortunately, that
Proper
was at
player.
Oakmont. I think TC had spent a lot of capital that week. That was his only missed cut of the year. But 8 top 10s this season, one shy of his career high. He made $18.5 million on the course, as I mentioned. But you know the stat, you know the number that I'm going to point to here. One PGA Tour win. Are we going to see more, less, or equal next year?
It's a good one.
Huber, I'm going to start with you.
He gets 2.
I love it. I
He
hope
gets
so.
2.
Thank
The
you, Huber.
lid is off. I've been a Fleetwood fan for a while, a closet Fleetwood fan, but I had breakfast at First Watch one day during Players Week, and he sat next to me, and he seemed like the coolest dude ever.
Did you talk
He
to
gets,
him?
he gets. I said hi, but he was just like chilling. He was just like a normal dude, and nobody knew who he
Yeah.
was. This is probably like 6 years ago,
He's the
and he
best,
was
man.
probably 25 years old then. Something like he was young, and I'm just sitting next to him, like he's at the table right next to me, and
Just a
nobody
couple pro
walks up and
golfers.
says anything, and I'm like, this is the best. It's Tommy Fleetwood. He's just chilling right here. That guy like that hits it so nice and is consistent. I feel like once the lid pops off, he picks up a couple. He might win early. I could see him winning before Augusta next year.
I'm going
It's
one.
a couple.
Deej, and I'll tell you why I'm not going above that. We just did the Scotty thing. Like Scotty's going
to win 12. Then
He's going to hoover things up. And Tommy doesn't play mule events. Like he doesn't play anything that's like easy to pick off. That's part of the reason like why it took him so long to get a win is he's just only playing like mostly almost only playing the elite field stuff. So I think still the wins are going to be hard to come by with those two factors. That's
Are we
not
talking
a knock on Tommy.
PGA Tour win? Or are we talking worldwide wins?
We're not talking about the other tours.
PGA Tour.
PGA Tour.
Okay.
That other tour.
Okay. I'm going to say he gets 1, and it's Birkdale.
Oh,
It's a major.
You're not allowed to call that.
Major. Major.
all
That
right.
would be awesome.
Where should we go next? We can talk.
As-
Go ahead.
As you're figuring that out, can I remind folks that today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Whoop, the official fitness wearable of the Ryder Cup. We made it an hour 15 into this show without mentioning the Ryder Cup. Throughout Ryder Cup weekend, Whoop will be working with both Team USA and Team Europe to provide an inside look into an athlete's heart rate during one of the most stressful events in sports. If you're not familiar with Whoop, it's a 24/7 health and fitness tracker that provides you with personalized insights around your sleep, recovery, daily activity, and now longevity, thanks to their new feature called Health Span. I was aging pretty quickly there in that Health Span part
stuff
for a
is
second.
awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm done 3 years.
I'm making better decisions, though, guys. I've figured out that alcohol within 3 hours of my bedtime, not good for me. I'm not having a drink with tonight's show. They just released their new hardware, the Whoop 5.0 and MG, now 7% smaller with 14 days of battery life and a ton of new features. Whoop can help you along with your health journey, no matter where you might be. A reminder, you can join the official No Laying Up team on Whoop by inputting code COMM-NLU in the community tab of the app. Again, COMM-NLU in the community tab of the app. You can also try the all-new Whoop 5.0 for free. Go to join.whoop.com/NLU for a free 30-day trial today. It's a fantastic product, and I had to break up with it for a little while when the newborns were around. I just didn't need that data. But now I'm back using it as a regular way of motivating myself to make some better decisions, and it helps. It works.
Can we talk about the battery life?
That's unbelievable. I keep losing my charger because I can't remember where I put it because of how good the battery is.
Yeah.
Deej, one other stat I wanted to talk about with Scotty real quick. Randy sent this over this week. Ryan Ballingy had a
I saw that
post
Yeah.
on X, the Everything app,
Everything app.
as opposed to the Xander app, which is apparently the Nothing app. I don't think
Not a
he's
lot of
posted on
content
there.
going up on Xander's
Didn't see that coming.
But if to keep a PGA Tour card, you had to beat Scotty Scheffler in any 72-hole tournament in which Scotty played this season, there would be 58 total PGA Tour members. Scheffler lost to just 57 unique players this season.
Gosh. Even in the ravioli period. You know,
it's incredible.
That is tough.
That's nuts, man. That's crazy.
57 guys.
I would love to I would like to see that listed out and see. All right, like these guys did not beat Scotty this year, and if you don't beat Scotty in 2026,
you got to turn
you're done. You got to turn in your tour card.
You're going to be playing the U.S. Mid-Am with Hueber.
we should
come on, bring them all.
We should put that list together. The only true PGA Tour players heading into 2026.
I wonder if you looked at Tiger 2000, what that would look like comparatively.
No, here's a good one. You can't get sponsor exemptions into the signature events if you didn't beat Scotty at least one event.
I'm on board with that.
Love that.
That's
all right, let me throw out this guy. He had to have beaten Scotty at least once, but now I'm kind of questioning everything. Cameron Young. Marvelous season for Cameron Young. Got himself on the Ryder Cup team.
US Open.
That's right. Beat Scotty at the U.S. Open. Yep. 8 top 10s in 25 events. Hasn't finished worse than 11th in his last 5 starts. We're going to look at the money list here. Cameron Young was 12th on the money list this season. Higher, lower, or the same next year. I think this is a pretty good line. For reference, 2022, he was 10th. 2023, he was 33rd. 2024, he was 43rd. This year, he was 12th.
I'm buying higher if that means he's going up the list. And I think this new golf ball thing is not coincidental change in his freakiness.
And talk about learning how to putt as well.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I would be, I think he's going to be in that top 10.
I'm going lower.
Selling.
I'm selling.
You were like the buyer when he graduated from the Corn. I remember we did a Corn Ferry pod with you. And you're like, this guy's different.
He still is different, but I think the top 10 list is just so shocking of how good those guys are. It was the original conversation with Scheffler when I had made the bet with Charlie Saxon. He said he was going to be a top 5 player in the world. And I'm like, look at the top 5 players in the world. These are all multiple major championships. It's not going to happen. I was way off on that. But like, I feel
that
like
makes
the
me
top
feel better
10,
about this Cam Young.
Yeah. I got him at like 15 next year.
Okay.
It's a lot. I think he'll have a good year, but I don't think.
15.
Yeah,
he's still pretty volatile.
You see, buying
this is a lot of cuts.
You buying or selling?
I think I'm selling in the short term, just because I think he pushed a lot of chips in to get to where he's at. I think it's kind of like he's going to have to almost reset a little bit and then, and then continue the progression. I think I'm buying over like a 3-year span. I think I'm selling over a 1-year span.
I like it. Fiscally responsible.
I can get down with that.
All right, we're going to talk about Jackson Koiven for a second. Played in 7 events this year, made 6 cuts. Only one he missed was also at the U.S. Open. 3 top 10s in those 7 events, famously. Sounds like
Best
he's
player in the world right now, never to win.
I totally agree. Sounds like he is going to go back to Auburn for another season, turn pro after that. Already has a PGA Tour card. So my more or less here is going to be the 3 top 10s. Because let's be realistic about this. There's a lot of guys on tour that did not have 3 top 10s this season. Daniel Berger, Wyndham Clark, Eric Cole, Nico Echeverria, Ryan Fox didn't have 3 top 10s. Max Grazerman, Denny McCarthy, Keith Mitchell, Aaron Rye, the great man Sammy Valimaki. These guys didn't have 3 top 10s. Is it just an auto for Jackson Koiven? He's just going to pick up where he left off and keep just hunting people.
I think it's unfair that you include Foxy in that because Foxy had 2 top
wins.
10s and they were both wins.
Which is, the question is what
I
it
said
is.
what I said.
Yeah.
3 is 3 or more. Yeah,
I think so.
he is more.
He's very good.
I'll go 3 again.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Like
Well, how many
John
events is he going to play?
Deere
Is he going to
or-
play a 7?
Well, it'll probably turn pro in early June, right after NCAAs.
Yeah.
So
He'll take sponsor exemptions in the early part of the year, I assume.
probably
He'll
probably play.
He'll have 5.
15 events or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Just look at how many Sargent played this year. Again.
Will he be on the President's Cup team next year?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think absolutely he should be. If
I
they're
think he
using
probably
the
will be.
President's Cup the correct way.
Which
God.
is that's okay. Well, now you're saying 2
Yeah,
different
so
things.
definitely not.
Should be.
I think he should be.
I'm
but
going
I
to
don't
say
think
yes,
he's the
just
President's
because
Cup the right way.
I want to wish cast that one into existence.
Sure.
Would love to root
I
for
want
that. all year.
Koiven and Clanton.
Yeah.
On the President's
Put him out
Cup team
first in
next year.
4
Yeah, you
balls,
guys
DC.
threw Clanton aside as soon as this Koiven thing started happening.
Yeah,
Quentin
was
was
really
nice.
I mean, we can't get them all right. We get like we just
Listen,
get
yeah,
so
Scotty,
many right.
I got Scotty right. I've gotten Koiven right. I mean, I can't.
Takumi
right.
Kanaya,
All
yeah,
right.
you got
Can't miss.
This is the
Kanaya
one. This is the one I'm most
flashed this
excited
week.
for. This is a chance. This is a chance to get one right because I think people are going to remember this. I'm going to call this the turnover game. Okay, we can't use the crooked OWGR anymore. We don't want to use the money list is kind of all skewed because now they're paying for FedEx Cup and all that stuff. But so I'm looking at the Data Golf rankings, which go way back. They've got their archives filled up so you can look at these retroactive Data Golf rankings. I went back to 2010. Okay. And I pulled the top 10 from each year. And on average, only 4.7 guys carry over like from year to year in the top 10 of the Data Golf rankings. There's been as many as 6. That's the most there ever was from 2010 to this year. And there's been as few as 3 that have carried over from year to year.
Each question: how closely do the Data Golf rankings mirror or reflect
Who are the top 10?
the OWGR?
They are, well, this might answer both of those questions. Top 10 is Scotty Scheffler. This is right now. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, John Rahm, Ben Griffin, Russell Henley, Bryson DeChambeau, Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander Schauffele. And so the math would say that there's probably only about 5 of those guys that are going to be in the top 10 next year. And I'm very curious who you guys think those 5 will be.
And also the data. So this ranking, does this just show golf that was played this year, or is this like a running?
It's a weighted running thing based on your recent results are weighted more heavily, but it's kind of smoothed out though. It's not as results based like the OWGR is. It's more about basically no WGR. A T20 and a T50 are about worth the same. They're just not worth much difference. Yeah. Whereas in this rating, that would separate them out a little bit more. It's taking all the golf you've played and essentially averaging it out with some weights into recent, results as well.
If Xander doesn't get on his horse, he's out.
Right. But I think
he
you
fits
would
on
say
his
he
horse.
is, if he's healthier this year, does he revert back into up there? Because I don't think his 2024 is counting for much at this point in the weighted system.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think 4 of those guys are out.
Let's go person by person then.
Scotty Scheffler. I got to think you guys are in
Pretty
on him.
convinced on that one. Yeah.
Rory McIlroy.
I think we're good there.
Yeah.
Good there.
What if Rory
DC.
just shuts it down after the Ryder Cup?
It's kind of, I know.
It's kind of
he
the
might.
thing that was keeping him engaged. And then he's had his quotes of, "Hey, I get up for the majors. I have trouble getting up for the other events." Obviously, the floor's pretty high there. Doesn't.
Yeah.
I think he stays in the top 10.
I think he stays in the top 10.
Yeah.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes.
That's 3
Yeah.
locks. Then we've only got 2
3.
more, basically. John Rahm.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
Outside the top 10, I'll say yes.
I'm
more hesitant on Fleetwood than I am Rahm.
I'm with you, Sally. No offense.
The buoy. He doesn't sink. He's the buoy.
No, Rahm did sink this year.
He's 4th.
He had some pretty
If that's the sink, then he's going to be in the top 10 next year. Come on.
10's a big one. Yeah, it's probably
everybody else stinks. Remember,
that's true.
He's probably in.
Yeah.
Ben Griffin.
I think he'd be a nominee to come out based on the math you're telling me. I'm a
I think
BG
there's gotta
fan.
be some regression.
I like him.
Got to
but,
be exhausted.
Yeah.
He'll be 11th or 12th.
Russ Henley.
Bay Hill's doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Like I think
he just plays good every week, and
Yeah.
they never show him.
I'll say he's probably he'll be out, but I'm a Henley buyer as well.
Like
I'm gonna
everything's
keep
just
him in there.
stacked against him.
Yeah.
As far as the course setups. And,
Right.
He was also in 2024 for what it's worth.
I'm leaving him in. He was the one guy when I looked up world rankings that blew my mind.
Yep.
So good.
So good.
Huber,
It's
I think
insane.
that's 5 for you. You can't have anybody else.
Yeah.
Leave.
I kicked Rahm out.
Oh, that's true. So you had 1, 2,
Or
3,
Rahm and Griffin.
4. You got 1 more.
Okay.
Bryson DeChambeau.
I'm going to say out.
It's an interesting one.
He doesn't play that well in live events, and
I'm kind of out.
What if he wins a major?
that'd be great. Then I'll be wrong, but he has to win a major to do it.
I think the major venues next year set up pretty well for him.
But he's got to win them.
It's an interesting one.
I think he's out.
I think if you're looking
Say
at volatility, I could see him being a volatile one.
I mean, we're gonna get a new golf ball back from manufacturing here
That's
pretty
true.
soon.
That's true.
You're saying NTC?
I'm saying in.
So you might be done then too, I think.
I think that was my 4th.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
He's
Out.
in top 10 right now. I'm going to say out.
That's an easy one, I think. No offense. Hope he's
Sorry,
there.
Matt.
Love Matt. The last
Seems
one's
like a great guy.
Xander Schauffele for anybody who doesn't have a pick left. But
in.
I think you guys all cruised there. That was it's a fun game.
That's a fun exercise.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that one later and see.
Who's
Do
our
we not have
sleeper?
Sam Burns as number 10 in the day? Oh, you're saying at the end of the PGA Tour season?
Oh, do I only have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, Burns
5,
is number
6,
10.
7, 8. Oh yeah, and Sam Burns is number 10. I'm sorry.
I'll say he's out.
Out. Who's moving in though?
Wow, that's a
Ooh.
much bigger question.
Yeah.
Hovland.
Clanton.
Koiven.
Ludwig. I think Ludwig's moving in for sure.
I'm
I think we
high
saw
on
the
Ludwig.
worst version of Ludwig this year.
Ludwig did not carry over. I'm trying to think of some recent year guys that could pop back in. Colin,
JT.
JT.
Colin.
JT,
Colin.
Tyrrell Hatton
Finau.
could as well.
Hideki,
I think
Hatton, Cantlay.
Hideki.
Yeah,
Hideki has a big year.
I never know what to do with Hideki.
Never
I
know
don't
what to
either.
do with it.
I know.
What a wild card.
Well, anyways, guys, that's what I got.
Where's-
That's kind of closing the book.
Where's
on
Big Shot Bob in
2025
the
stuff.
data golf?
He's 20th.
Okay, so he's 9th in the OWGR, but 20th there.
He just moved down 7 spots. I
Okay.
think he's. I don't know exactly why, but
They gave him a 7-spot deduction for the eye test. For the shitty winners.
once they mirrored his swing over to the right side, and they're like, "Oh no, oh no!"
Guys, that's my research on 2025.
I love it.
I appreciate you
That's fun.
going on that ride with me, Huber. I think we're gonna cut you loose, man. Thank you for everything. Thanks for the stories. Thanks for playing great. Made for an awesome week of refreshing my internet browser and waiting for new
Yeah.
holes to update. It was a real thrill, man, seeing you out there, and I
And
can't wait till next
I'm,
year.
I'm sorry I forgot you were playing the U.S. Mid-Am too. It's already in match play, and I was like, oh crap.
It was one of those things. I didn't like post about it. I was
Right.
like, I figured there would be a flood of things if I did. I again, like it's not. I don't really care. I wanted to go compete,
Yeah, that's
and
fun.
I had a heck of a time doing it. I appreciate all the messages from not only you guys but everyone else. Like it'll go down in history as like one of the coolest things I've ever got to do. So
Yeah. We were buzzing. It was yeah, like I think some of my favorite memories are following, doesn't matter the tournament. It could be Lauer playing in a, Corn Ferry Tour event, or you in a qualifier, or
Lauren,
Lauren.
Mac.
Yeah, and I think it's just cool. But I think I do want you to go down to your office with your hat on and all your trophies in the background and your big checks up on the wall, and just take a selfie.
I'll do it.
Say,
I'll
say
do a
case.
little
New
like
sheriff in
workaround
town.
video. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
but good
But
chat with
thanks,
you, man.
guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And as always, you guys are the best.
See you, Hubes.
Cheers.
See ya.
All right, guys, moving on. A little bit of the world of competitive professional golf. You mentioned up top, Solly. LPGA was called after 18 holes. Haven't seen one of these in a while. The Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Originally, it was scheduled to be a 54-hole tournament anyways, starting on Friday. So they played 18 holes. Allison Lee, Sarah Schmelzel, and Minami Katsu leading at 8 under par. I think play was suspended very, very early in the second round. They were kind of trying to push tee times, maybe delay stuff, and then it just kind of, became very clear it was going to get totally wiped out. Course received another 3.25 inches of rain overnight after that, and the officials basically declared that it was not only unplayable today, Sunday, but that the forecast for Monday and Tuesday were so bad that they were better off just shortening this thing to 18 holes. So a few kind of procedural things. It's going to be an unofficial event, no CME points rewarded. I know that Walmart and P&G probably have some sort of force majeure, like act of God. We don't have to pay the purse, or we only have to pay a little bit of the purse or whatever. They made it very clear that both of those companies are planning to pay out much, much more than what they're on the hook for contractually. So shout out to them for that, trying to make.
Yeah, I think they're paying out like 2/3 maybe, and I think everybody in the field is getting some sort of payout as well. And I think they had sinkholes in some of the fairways. And then Lauren sent she posted something on the gram this afternoon. It was pouring again this afternoon.
Oh,
TC, you were on Slack saying this is bullshit. They need to get out there and play this thing.
play it down too.
Any other? No.
No, I think Riggs was out there doing the let them play.
Let them play. Any other thoughts on the 18 hole situation
No,
here?
I mean,
This stuff.
truly
I do think
like
the
it is what it is.
54 hole LPGA events, like they do them, I don't know, there's 4 or 5 of them a year.
Yeah.
They kind of make me mad, but that's neither here nor there. Good on the tournament organizers, Outlier and P&G and Walmart for going above and beyond on the purse.
Also kind of put a little bit of a damper on the week with former Arkansas Razorback Stacey Lewis announcing her retirement this week, or plans to retire after the season, I should say.
Her retirement from a full schedule. All right, we've been through this before. She made very, very clear
language. Pretty gun-shy language in some of these write-ups. But yeah, she shot 68 in the first round. There's a nice write-up on LPGA's website about like how nervous she was about all of this, and going back to, I think the role that Arkansas has played in her life. She's got such an interesting story, man. I still I feel like, at least for someone like me who's a fairly casual LPGA fan, I kind of gloss over the scoliosis stuff and the back surgeries and missing entire years and all of that stuff to kind of turn into a pretty incredible career. 13-time winner on the LPGA, 2-time major champion, 2-time player of the year, played on 4 Solheim Cup teams, captained 2 Solheim Cup teams. So kind of a giant of American golf for the last decade and a half here. So wish her all the best. Any other Stacey Lewis thoughts from you guys?
I feel like we'll see her in a lot of stuff, whether she's working in TV eventually or captaining or whatever it is. I feel like this is she's going to be around golf a lot, and kind of been in a not a semi-retired role for a little while, but hasn't been seriously competitive in golf for a couple of years. But no, kind of her time kind of in the main spotlight doesn't really correspond with our time covering the game, so it's kind of a weird one to cover, I guess, at this point. But again, probably not the last we'll see and hear of Stacey.
Yeah, I think good leader on the Solheim Cup team, and I think she's done a lot for people behind the scenes. She's also had some bad takes out there. I'll just say that.
But she has
haven't
takes.
we all, right?
She
does have takes.
Yeah, but you got to respect. Yeah, it does. It seems like at least the last couple of years. Again, I'm kind of watching a lot of this from afar, but doesn't seem afraid to kind of stick a bony finger in some people's chests, try to right some wrongs, and
maybe some Lanto in there.
Go mix it up for what she thinks is right. So I respect that immensely. On over across the pond on that other tour, Solly, Michelle Kim, our guy Michael Kim. You guys liked that one earlier. I thought I'd reprise that for the evening audience. Wins the FedEx Open de France, the French Open. Birdied 16 and 17 for a one-shot victory over Jiang Wan Ko, the local man of France, and Elvis Smiley of Australia. I think this is Michael's first win since that John Deere Classic win in 2018. Kind of, this has been documented, but some Max Homa-esque struggles and downsides. And now I think a lot of people know him as the Twitter guy that's gotten his game back, has been very, very open. I don't know if anybody's ever been a better illustrator of, like, if you just kind of open up the books, so to speak, on your personality, people will get behind you. Michael is like, could just very easily be another dude on the PGA Tour, and he's like kind of grabbed the bull by the horns as far as like putting himself out there and just kind of willing himself into making more fans. And I think on days like this that pays off great.
Nasty up and down the 72nd hole.
Made a massive putt that I did not look like it was going in until the very last second. But no, I'm stoked for him. I wish the timing would have. I think he was tweeting out that he was already regretting the hangover he's going to have tomorrow, and I wish we could have made the timing work for a call in tonight. But I'm sure we'll be talking to him at some point this fall. But just a great dude, easy guy to root for, and has been fun to do content with over the years.
Work for solid, a little Freudian slip there. Work for the PGA Tour,
exactly.
Players on the tour,
for sure.
I also just like, there's kind of some fun names in that field, and Michael also went over and played Wentworth too. Again, just from a PGA Tour perspective, like pretty easy to just shut it down and not go play more golf, but went over and played Wentworth in the French Open, and it seems like he's walking back with a bunch of magnums of champagne and a big ass trophy. So love seeing that. Saw like Brooks Koepka finished 4th. I was told Brooks Koepka is not a good 3-point shooter anymore.
Should he have been on the Ryder Cup team?
I don't know. Makes you think. And TC the Bullet is back. Our guy Marcus Armitage finished.
Driver maybe not so much, but the Bullet himself is back. Absolutely loving life.
Loving life. Oh God, what a fun top 5 that was. Minwoo Lee also finished T5 along with Guido Migliozzi and Christopher Rattan.
DP World Tour, man. I love watching it on the weekends. Like just firing it up on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and they're in, they're wherever, France or Wentworth or where are they going next? We got the Dunhill beginning of October, and then they go to the Open de España, and then they go to that DP World India Championship. That bunch of guys are randomly playing. Dr. Munjal is just, playing everybody.
I don't know. This is my mouth getting ahead of my brain here, because I don't know how you would do this, but man, I just wish you could bring how cool those events must be in person, and how cool the traveling aspect of the DP World Tour is still, and like all these things that are still so great about the DP World Tour. I wish you could bring them to life in a way that was not a 72-hole stroke play that's on, Golf Channel or whatever. I just wish there was. I'm sure some of this stuff exists, but I just haven't seen one that's really blown me away in a while, I guess. But some sort of all access thing that's just like really getting into some of these places would be, I think that would get me more amped to watch some of these events. But
I've
maybe
heard,
that's wishful
I've
thinking.
heard, I've heard keep some eyes on the strategic alliance
Yeah,
from a scheduling and events perspective, as far as crossover and world schedule goes. Also, I would say just generally speaking, the way that they cover those events, with the commentary
yeah,
is so soothing and
totally.
such a nice thing to watch, or just have it on a second screen while you're, you know, cooking on Saturday morning, cooking breakfast or something. It's just soothing. It's awesome.
It is. I totally agree with that.
I feel like they could do whatever that would be with connection. You're talking about TC, but I feel like you could give away 5 spots into next year's signature events for like a fall series, right? If you're a Spieth that didn't make it, into the top 50 for next year, like
Literally go grow the game in these
go
places.
play and some. I maybe wouldn't do it, but like some incentive for some guys, like go hoover up and earn those. I don't know. There's something you could do with this fall series, the
Or
connectivity.
if you didn't beat Scotty, you have to go play
Yeah.
these events.
Go validate it. Yeah. Guys, we got a lot of other stuff to get to. So this is gonna be the vaunted return of the back nine segment. I thought we had, we actually had to cut a couple of things. So they didn't even make it to the back nine. Good holes. We found some really good holes. They weren't the
It's
best.
just like Northwest Arkansas. We had to cut it short.
It's exactly right. So we're gonna do a quick back nine, and then we'll get out of here. Sully, I'm gonna throw this first one to you. Hole number 1 or 10, I don't know. As you'll remember from the back nine, I don't really know how this works. Number 1, just a hearty congratulations, man. We made it. It's Ryder Cup week. We did it. We're gonna close the book on this podcast, and then it's gonna be Ryder Cup week when you wake up. I know things are already cooking up there at Bethpage. What's on your mind?
I kind of OD'd on it in the early part, and I'm coming in almost a little hungover into Ryder Cup week. It's a bad side. But I've done this in the past. I've gotten up there too early into Ryder Cup week, and there's just not much going on, not much to do those first few days. So I'm heading up Wednesday. I'm coming into this one with I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't feel confident in the U.S. I don't feel like overly invested in this U.S. team. It would be hilarious, honestly, I think, if they lost. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm still rooting for Team USA, but I feel like I was feeling really good the day they picked the teams, and now I'm looking at the team and I'm like, yeah. I mean, they could lose this. They really could. But also, home field advantage seems to dominate, and this is just the part where you just twist yourself into pretzel on predictions and everything. But only thing I'd be surprised on if it's close is if it's close. I think either team will likely win by 4 or more is my prediction. But I'm very excited to get it over with.
I
think that, if the U.S. has it, I think they're going to go take care of it, and they're going to have it from the jump. And I think if Europe gets out and starts doing it, I think Team USA is just going to collapse on top of each other and start throwing each other under the bus like they always do. And it is going to be great theater if that's the case. So we just haven't seen a close one in a long, long time. And I think there's something to that. I think there's got to be, that's more than random at this point.
Quotes are flying already.
There were some quotes. I think this was, I'm trying to timeline this interview. I think this interview that Rory did with Ewan Murray of The Guardian was from the Tour Championship, if I have that right. But Bryson had some quotes at some point. I don't remember when this was, but he said, "I'll be chirping in Rory's ear this time. Now, if we go up against each other, I mean, you can be sure of it," basically. And Rory's response was, "I think the only way he gets attention is by mentioning other people." That is basically what I think of that. To get attention, he will mention me or Scotty or others. Which is great. That's a great clap back
as
Bryson.
A YouTuber, man. There's no power better than collabs.
I was gonna say there's gonna be the front nine of his match with Rory is gonna be on the Ryder Cup channel, then the back nine's on Bryson's channel. Rory also said, "I think it is inevitable that something's going to happen in New York. It might not involve me, but it is inevitable that something will happen, whether like in Rome last time or something else." And he said, "I just think when you go
Sounds
into
like
the
TC prediction,
something's going to happen. I just think when you go into that environment and there are 5 or 6 days and the crowd are on you for 8 hours, so many days in a row, it's inevitable. It will get to someone or get to us as a group at some point. We're just going to have to do a really good job of managing that, having each other's backs and protecting each other."
Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Can't call it, but something's going to happen.
It's kind of a Randy, I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I did watch back today the Joe LaCava thing from Rome. It's so much worse than
So
I
egregious.
remember it even.
I think he's in
Joe
there
the
trying
show,
to
man.
take a charge.
He's a bad guy.
It's so ridiculous. You seriously just don't do that. That was bad.
You don't do
You
that.
just don't
I
do
know.
that.
Rory had some more comments. He said, I've realized over the past few years that when it's all said and done, people aren't going to remember how much money I won. What they're going to remember is how many majors I won. So getting up for those, not a concern at all. It's the week in, week out stuff that I have found a bit of a struggle at times. The majors and the Ryder Cup are the 5 things in golf that at this point really matter to me.
Wow, shots fired at the players.
Yeah. And the tour that he was like the head of for how long of a time and is basically sold his soul for. That's not the right phrase, but he was like put himself on the line for and kind of did not get the reward that he thought he deserved. And I thought he deserved for it. And he's just kind of hands up and
I think that's a
realizing it's
very
not worth my time.
very understandable feeling at this
I think
point.
he could have said the 4 majors of the Ryder Cup and National Opens. That's the only thing that matters in golf.
He did not say that though.
Unfortunately.
He said, it's a struggle for me to love the position I am in all the time. There are times when I would like to just breeze through life and not get the attention I do, but I understand that with what I've done in the game, that is just part of it. There are times that I yearn for a little anonymity and having a quieter life. That will happen one day. This is my time in the sun. In 10 years, it won't be, and this is my time to enjoy that part of it. Also an understandable
For sure.
point of view.
Seems, deeply thoughtful and some good perspective there.
That's the
Sounds like
catch-22 of
energetic.
like you want to be successful enough that people will stop you everywhere you go, but you don't want people to actually stop you and bother you everywhere you go.
I love
Russell Henley.
exactly. I love the end of that quote too. It's just leaning into like, well, this is one chapter, and I'm only going to get to do this once, And I think it seems like he's, I don't know. It seems like he's, I don't want to say struggled because who knows how he's feeling, but it seems like he's waffled a little bit on, am I trying to get down in my own bubble? Am I trying to just embrace this? Am I trying to, who am I trying to be kind of when the crowds are all yelling my name, which I can't imagine what a mind F that must be to try to figure out. And so as always, I'm glad he's kind of letting us in on that process a little bit and talking about it, because I have no idea what that would ever be like.
Do you think we get like 2016 Hazeltine from Rory, like the showman at Bethpage?
I think he's going to be turned up to a zillion this week.
I feel like that's like going to only encourage the behavior though. And I don't know if that's like what he would want out of that. That's just a hard thing to maintain for 3 full days. I don't know. I don't really, again, that's
we're not getting too bogged down. We got so many riders.
Plenty of that to talk about this week.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to hole number 2/11. TC, you put this on my desk. According to Instagram, our guy Big Tex, Sergio Garcia shot a 58. In the caption, he said, it's not like the hole-in-one I made against my friend Lee Westwood in Austin in 2021, but it's super special to shoot 58 with my buddies at Austin Country Club. Only problem is when he was playing Austin Golf Club, which I just,
He posted this scorecard from Austin. It says Austin Golf Club on it. And Julie Crenshaw, Ben Crenshaw's wife, is in the first one of the comments, who's like, you shot this at Austin Golf Club, Sergio, not at Austin Country Club.
Just a funny thing with. I'm sure that those two get confused.
But I'm glad
that
I'm glad that he's out there playing even after his Ryder Cup snub.
Exactly.
Good stuff there.
Also, should he have been on the team? He's hot right now.
Exactly.
Should Mickelson have been on the team? Should Mickelson
have a good
be
week?
an assistant captain? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Sable, and then I don't think we've given it enough thought and consideration of like how insane Mickelson's entire career is, just his entire existence. Like, I was thinking about it last night. I was like with some buddies. I was like, it's crazy. Like I don't even think we give it 10% of the credit it deserves for just how batshit crazy the entire thing is.
It's a little bit like the Scotty. Like I don't know how many more times I could say how good this guy is. That's kind of how I feel about Phil as well. All right, moving on. This one sucks. PGA Tour has announced that the season opening event at the Century will not be contested at Kapalua due to, quote, drought conditions and related challenges. The tour's release said that there were water restrictions that have been in place on Maui due to significant drought, and those restrictions directly affected Kapalua. and that even with improved weather conditions, that just the lead time it would take to host a tour event, to plan for it, made it impossible to guarantee a something up to tour standards as far as playing conditions. Kapalua, of course, has hosted the season-ending tournament since 1999. I'm sure many people have seen photos on social media. The golf course is like truly, they've lost it. It's gone. It was on the edge. Just really brown, and it sounds like you can kind of get as deep as you want into some of the local news reporting. It sounds like there's issues with, is it Maui Land and Pineapple Company or something like that?
Yeah.
That I think controls the water rights along with the county. Sounds like there's some infrastructure issues that are just leading to all kinds of leakage, but also like a lot of people who are under massive water restrictions saying, what are we even talking about? Why are we debating whether a golf course needs water when people have drinking water restrictions put on them? And totally understand, obviously, all of that as well. Just at the end of the day, kind of like a massive bummer, because I love Kapalua and I love Maui and I love going there and all the people there, and it's just stinks. It just stinks.
I think this will be a really interesting litmus test for not litmus test, but signal or sign or reflection of how Brian Rolap is thinking, where this tournament actually goes. I think the odds-on favorite is probably Omni LaCosta. Like, I have no inside info, but I think, as I understand it, that's kind of always like the backup one now that that's back up and running.
That's interesting.
But would you do something at Hualalai? The week, because that's where the senior tour starts. Do you do something that's almost a made for TV kind of thing? Do you tell Century, hey, we're not going to hold the event this year, or see if they want it? Because I think they're locked in through 2036, and they've got and the tour is asking for bigger and bigger rights fees, and they could see that as, hey, if we want to thin the schedule down to 30 or 32 events and they're locked in at this lower number, would that be one they'd want to get rid of?
You're forgetting an asset that the tour has now that they've not had in past years, a place where the weather does not affect play. They should go play this in the SoFi Dome.
Oh, that's interesting. Could play every
I thought you were going to say
Torrey Pines.
No, like Vedanta World.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about La Costa. That would be interesting to see that place again and kind of.
Are we positive they're going to have the tournament?
It sounded like
we're not positive of anything.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure it out. Back-to-back weeks at Waialae would be kind of cool. I think I always love watching Waialae, and seeing all the big names there would be kind of
cool. All right, so Waialae, there's Waialae, back-to-back weeks at Waialae.
Well, Waialae where they have the Sony, I'm saying, and then
yeah.
Hualalai is the one on a different island where they have
Yeah.
the senior event a couple weeks later. So, which I'm sure would be in good shape to host and has some infrastructure built in. But yeah, I don't know.
Because I think the big loser would be the Sony.
Yeah.
If big name guys aren't going over already, they're going to say, all right, well, why am I going over for just a week? Unless it's Kuchar, and then he's going to go over for 6 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Century too. Just again, this is just my Wisconsin brain probably, but I mean, their home campus has a very high caliber golf course on it, and I know, as much as they love hosting, the event in Hawaii and probably bringing partners and clients and stuff out there, like, it just seems like the ultimate goal would have to be to eventually get something there. Obviously you can't do that in January, but yeah, I don't know. I think it just puts everybody in an interesting situation. I wish I had more kind of insight into what's going to happen. But, moving on, number 4.
It's a tough one too, because it's the most weather and daylight constrained week on the entire calendar.
No, it's no, there's just not a lot of places that are just sitting around PGA Tour ready, on a moment's notice. So we will see. It's a good test for everyone involved, and I hope they can get something that, worthy of kind of the season kickoff. But just a stinky situation that hopefully gets resolved, and hopefully they can get back to Kapalua next year. And it's a weird blip. But
can I throw a potentially really dumb idea? But Sawgrass is like the most wired like from a cable perspective, right? Of like, yeah, I don't know if we get hospitality up in that for everything, but could they? If you only have 60 or so guys for
Yeah, but
January,
the
could they do that?
overseed, they
Yeah.
would have to overseed earlier, all of that stuff. I mean, if we're doing pie in the sky crazy shit, why not, fly down to Australia, baby. Let's do a little made for TV stuff.
Sick.
Go to the park, West Palm.
Moving on, number 4, PGA of America announced some future tournament sites. KPMG Women's PGA. This is obviously, of course, kind of ahead of and in conjunction with the Ryder Cup here. Some New York sites. KPMG Women's PGA is going to Bethpage in 2028. PGA Championship is going back to Bethpage in 2033. And the PGA Championship is going back to Oak Hill in 2035. Any kind of instant reaction on this?
Seems about right. I think, yeah, Oak Hill's a solid PGA Championship, solid, not spectacular PGA Championship golf course. I thought Bethpage was set up really poorly in 2019 and was very one note, and hopefully
shout out to Kerry Haig.
Yeah,
glazes.
So hopefully it is kind of set up a little bit more creatively, and we'll see what Bethpage is like, obviously, after next week. So
yeah, my only thing is that I don't know. I've said this forever, and it's clear that they don't care. But I think the only chance for the PGA Championship to really get some sort of identity lies in the venues, and it just seems like they're not interested in shaking it up, other than just being kind of like
just making money,
like a C+ version of the U.S. Open. So
yeah,
I guess they'll just keep doing that. Solid number 5. I love this one. You sent this over. Colin Rafferty. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Undoubtedly no, but I don't know.
0 chance. Call Surf Pro, baby.
Colin Rafferty wins the North of Ireland Amateur to complete a career Grand Slam. And what this means, if you've ever been over to Ireland, they've got all the honor boards inside and like lots of trophy boards at all these courses that host, there's 4 tournaments. There's the North of Ireland, the South of Ireland, the East of Ireland, and the West of Ireland. And these tournaments move around. Our guy is the first person to ever win all 4. That's incredible. He did it at Port Stewart this year. Solly, I love this note. I don't know if you had any other thoughts on it.
No, just wanted to shout it out at least at some point on the show. This did not happen all this year, just for the record.
Yeah, sorry. He won the South of Ireland in 2018, the West in 2019, and the East last year. So he's been
the West is at Sligo.
I think it moves around, doesn't it?
I don't remember. I
know
the West
is always at Sligo.
Okay.
And I think the North is usually at Portrush, but they had it at Port Stewart this year. I was talking to our friend Barry about it.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the East and the South. The South should be at Old Head, right?
Just an awesome record, awesome thing to go down in the history books for.
What if he was a reinstated AM?
Oh,
that'd be brutal.
That would break my heart.
That would. Moving on, number 6 here. PGA Tour Champions Policy Board was voting this week to eliminate Q School. This is reporting from Adam Schupak in Golf Week. I know he was also working off of reporting from Ryan French, Monday Q Info. It sounds like these spots would be to reallocate, spots and playing opportunities to players who, quote, dedicated their career to the PGA Tour, won multiple times, and still have very little access to PGA Tour champions. That's according to a text from Jim Furyk to Schupak. Furyk's on the PGA Tour Champions Policy Board.
That's like who?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not giving you any names.
Yeah. Furyk said he likes to see the data. He doesn't want to base it on names, which I actually respect. I think that's a good way to look at it. But I think there's been 5 cards typically that have come from the final stage of Champions Tour Q School. I don't know if this means anything, doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
They keep bumping it up they bumped it up from 2 victories to 3 victories in order to be eligible, I think, like for automatic status, which makes all the Stephen Alker, like all that stuff of like somebody Mondaying in and then just keeping it rolling, it makes it that much more impressive.
Totally. I know, as a tour that is built to sell pro-am spots and relive the glory days, it's kind of, I'd love to be romantic.
It's not a meritocracy.
About
It's
any given Sunday in your cart kind of thing. But I don't know, man. I think it's kind of a celebration of the dudes you know from the PGA Tour.
That's
Unfortunately.
If
exactly
you really want to play, go be a reinstated am.
Yeah, exactly. US Senior goes to some unbelievable venues. Go play that. Number 7, TC. Wanted to do a little Corn Ferry Tour look ahead. We mentioned they're in Columbus this week. We got a couple bangers left, I think.
Yeah. We got Oklahoma
Yep.
the week after the Ryder Cup. That's it. I think that's at the Patriot,
It is
I believe.
the Patriot.
The Patriot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's an interesting place. It was at Jimmy Austin, the Oklahoma, the OU campus course last year, I think. But so I think this is a new venue for them. And then KFT Championship, October 9th at French Lick. Top 20 earned tour cards, 2026. 5 are already statistically locked up. The great man, Johnny Kiefer, just crushing people. He's having a Scotty-like year out there. 8 top 10 finishes. He's won a couple times. He's lapping everybody. Austin Smotherman, Neil Shipley, Emilio Gonzalez, and our friend Hank Libiota.
Yeah, already guaranteed to go back to the tour.
Yeah, he came out digging after the first kind of that Bahamas swing, and then he's been locked up for a while now. So yeah, it's always, I don't know. I'll be curious to see. French Lick was a little bit, I don't want to say underwhelming last year, but just I don't think they set it up right. I heard some murmurs of some unhappiness from players. So I think year 2 there will be interesting because prior it was at Victoria National, which was a pretty stern test for
it's
it.
like the hardest golf course in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
no thanks. I'd rather just not have my tour card, please. Thank you.
You know what? You can reinstate me.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Just a couple. It's one of those things I think just worth keeping one of your eyes on as we, especially as the tour turns into kind of the fall sort of optional. You can watch it or not kind of time frame. The Corn Ferry Tour, as guys are starting to play for some livelihoods, is always really fun. Number 8, the Masters, or 17. Again, I don't know. The Masters teams up with Amazon Prime Video. Sort of a ultimately probably good, but kind of dystopian sentence that I hadn't really pictured myself saying. Prime Video is joining ESPN, CBS, and Paramount Plus as the broadcast partners of the 2026 Masters. This will add 2 hours of coverage on Thursday and Friday. So everybody has complained for years and years and years, I think fairly rightfully, that the broadcast doesn't start until 3:00 of the Masters. This will add 2 more hours of coverage from 1 to 3 on Amazon Prime Video. That will lead right into ESPN coverage on Thursday, Friday. So I'll leave some of the what does this mean for rights fees and who's getting into golf and who's doing what and all kinds of that stuff for somebody else. But 2 hours of coverage, that seems great. Would watch. Can't wait. Any other takeaways, TC? I feel like you're always on kind of the TV and business making, the deal making beat.
I'm way too deep into like the Puck newsletter. But no, I think it's probably a little not wake up call, but little just, hey, we're going to keep ESPN on their toes. We're going to, I think Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, just got into Augusta last year. So, I think it's, hey, get some of these streamers in the boat. Because like I know Netflix they were the ones bidding against NBC and Versant for the Versant or whatever. You guys are
Versant, I believe.
Versant. I'm in my head on that, but
Neil, you played that on Neil.
God, Neil had.
Netflix
I was just
was
listening to
in
the
the
Randy
mix.
Golf Spotlight. Neil hitting him with a Lido. The Lido golf course was tough, and he wanted it back as soon as it came out of his mouth. But that was a tough one. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but no, I think it's just kind of getting that money in the boat one way or another, like in the golf ecosystem. I think the tour's probably happy about that. And it keeps ESPN on their toes as far as making sure that their coverage and all their offerings for the Masters are up to snuff. So
I'm
curious to see how they staff that too.
Yeah, and how that works with feature groups, because really that's kind of the, does it fill in that gap? There's always that one group where you're like, God, are we seriously not watching blah, blah, blah play right now? And hopefully that at least help colors in that gap. I never have, I don't want to say never, but I'm usually not a person that freaks out about not being able to watch it on TV until 3 p.m. just because I love the feature groups so much. And there's Amen Corner. There's all kinds of cams. There's almost too many cams to keep up with. So, but for people that don't sit in front of their computer and have 8 things going all at once, this is a positive addition to watch between 1 and 3.
Yeah. Last hole here, guys. Last note. I just wanted, what's up with the personal golf games these days? Solly, what, you were traveling, playing some golf. TC, I heard you talking to Mayor Pete about your golf game briefly.
They got canceled this week for for talking airports this week.
Yeah, a lot. It was a pretty interesting window into YouTube versus X, the everything app versus Instagram, as far as the temperature and the tone on each one.
Talking about the Trap Draw podcast, our sister station.
No, mine. We had our member guest last weekend. Partner and I, we didn't play well. I think we won the party. We also won the closest to we won the skins game the first night. I hit it to about 6 inches in the closest to the pin tiebreaker, and may have had to give up my amateur status.
For real?
I took a big wad of cash.
No rules anymore
for that. And then we've actually got our little club within the club, our Blue Man Group club championship this Friday and Saturday morning. So be going out playing that. Greens are getting spicy out there, Solly. It's like Deej, golf season is just beginning down here.
I love it. Ready to pass the baton.
Yeah,
to you guys.
It's just ramping up. So I'm man, my irons are awesome. I'm putting's been a little hot and cold the last few rounds, and struggling with spin rates a little bit on the driver. Driver's spinning a little bit too much.
Get that straight now. Yeah.
So
you got on an airplane to go play some golf this week.
Did Ben Hameen Hoteling and I teamed up for the first time. We did a USGA 4-ball qualifier that we filmed. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. I will spoil it. We did not make it, if in case you saw that floating around out there. But Ben and I played the USGA 4-ball up in Charleston, West Virginia, actually, and we had fun. It's a tough competition. You got to be like on. There's no room for mistakes when you're playing with that level of competition. We did not make. I think we were 4 shots out of an alt spot, which was kind of like, if you watch the video and like, if everything, if the lip outs all fell in and we would have stolen one, blah blah blah, here we would have been in a playoff. But that's just not how golf works. And we put up a respectable score. Honestly, I have freaked out so much about the driver going all over the place. For some reason, after the Creator Classic, I switched from the GT2 back to my GT3 and started hitting it all over the map again. And then in Atlanta, I played the GT3 and had the lefts in there, put the GT2 back in. And I think I hit my driver 12 times, like all within 10 to 15 yards of where I was aiming it. It was like one of the best I've ever driven it in a competitive golf situation. Probably should have shot a lot lower than I did from those spots, but I was pleasantly surprised with how I got off the tee in a competitive event for the first time in years, honestly. So that was a positive development. I came about that close to an ace on camera, which the one shot that we had KJ up filming at the green too, and almost saw it go in, but no, we made 3 bogeys in 4-ball. It's just not ever going to be good enough. So
I'm stoked to watch that footage. I can't wait. I love the competitive golf stuff.
It's a lot more fun playing on Ben's team than it is going against him. I'll say that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Our club championship's going to be really interesting this year, I think.
Yeah. The NLU one.
I thought you meant your Ponte Vedra.
No.
Like, oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. No. I think Cody's been working hard on his game. Neil's been playing good.
Neil's not going to be there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I know. I think it's going to be great. That 4th spot, man. There's
we should do a member guest sometime.
That's a good idea for video. Speaking of videos, I got, I think the video I've been asked about the most from our non-travel, non like tour sauce strapped perspective is the video I did a million years ago, playing a golf course with no flag sticks at Jack's Beach. And so we've always wanted to reprise that one, which we did this week, filmed it. The hay is in the barn, added to the very full backlog of videos that we're editing right now. And it was electric stuff. I won't spoil it, but very interesting. I won't tell you which way, but it was provocative. And
and you had a biker gang behind you too, right?
Yeah. I won't spoil it. It was a lot. There's a lot going on. But guys, that's about it. I cannot believe we went 2 hours and change here on it.
Didn't see that coming.
No,
Did
but
not see that
just,
coming.
I tried warning people, everybody was, I felt like the boys were frothing, man. Get Hueber in here. It's just good vibes, but
surely we won't go long on any other content the rest of this
exactly.
week.
No, we're going to keep
well.
it super tight. I think on the way
Guys,
out,
we didn't really get to it too. I do want to shout out Brendan DeYoung for winning his member. I think he won the top flight of the. He was the guest at the TPC Piper Glen member guest. This is according to Yip Strickler.
kind of one of the handicap watchdogs.
Yeah, he was playing off a plus 1.9. He made 17 birdies during his 5 9-hole matches.
Oh, that's
which I think DeYoung was up there. I think he led the board
code,
of birdies
buddy.
made like a couple different years.
He played a President's Cup, at least one.
I stand with Brendan DeYoung. That guy rules. I'm in on him. Whatever, you can do whatever you want.
Plus 1.9. Get out of here.
I'll end us on this note for real. I think TC, you sent this over as a great note. Just a rest in peace to John Harris, one of Minnesota's great golfers. Guy played on 4 Walker Cup teams. He was the last mid-am to win the U.S. Amateur all the way back in 1993. He won at the age of 41. I love this stat. In 1974, he helped lead the Minnesota hockey team to an NCAA national championship and also won the Big Ten individual golf title in the same year. That's good stuff. And guys, he was a reinstated amateur. He had a pro career, got his amateur status back, messed people up in the Walker Cup, and then turned pro again and won on the Champions Tour. So I just, just a golf life well lived there.
Sportsman.
I think, and a
true sportsman,
a fitting ending.
Great man
to tonight's conversation. Yeah. I think, but
amen,
guys, great being with you, man. This was awesome.
Great being with you. Congratulations to your Brewers as well, Deej, for
Reds.
clinching the NL Central.
What an electric weekend of baseball! Holy smokes,
massively electric. I can't believe the Reds are alive. It's all going to get settled during the Ryder Cup, which is going to be a weird thing for me, but it can be a fun final week.
You should skip the last 3 days. Come to Milwaukee. Watch.
Yeah, what are you guys going to do? Can you guys just let us out? Don't you want us in the playoffs in case you have to play us?
Although I think the Mets have a better chance of beating the Dodgers than you guys do, probably.
Deej, I was disappointed in your guy Bob Gasser.
I mean, he hasn't,
not a great outing.
He didn't get touched. He did all right.
No.
He acquitted himself all right. He hadn't pitched in the majors in like a year and a half, man. He had his whole elbow reconstructed. Let's see you get out there with a reconstructed elbow, TC. He's just...
Well, I mean, it sounds like all
the Brewers are going to have to do that.
Sure. That's what
sounds like. It's hot in the streets right now. Kids are getting like elective reconstructive elbow surgery.
I've shouted out on the Seamsters Bob. You got to read The Arm, the Jeff Passan book.
Yeah,
all about the history of Tommy John surgery. It's
well,
incredible.
I do want to wish both Solly and Neil's entire leadership team best of luck this week in the fantasy baseball playoffs as well.
I know.
The championship game.
Big week for you, Solly.
Made it to the championship. I did not think we would survive this week with Yordan Alvarez rolling his ankle on Monday. That was bad timing. But we made it to the ship, trying to go back to back, and that would mean a lot. That would go a long way for me.
Well, guys,
and our Jags won. This is a great sports week for your boy. Our Jags won today somehow as well. TC.
We're gonna do a ball knowers this week. Ball knower Bob is coming on. Mr. Sturm. Talk about his Packers losing. Coach Flus, bad day for Coach Flus in the Dallas defense. Lot to discuss on the Falcons front. Just a mind-boggling 30-0 loss to the Panthers. All sorts of stuff happened in the league this week. So.
Guys, I think that's a wrap. This ruled. Great chat with you guys. Thanks to Hueber for coming on. That was
Ryder Cup preview, 3 p.m. Eastern time, No Laying Up podcast YouTube channel. Be there. We'll have happy hour Thursday night, live shows after every round of the Ryder Cup as well, of course. Excited for that. So thanks everyone for tuning in. See you there this week. Let's have a great week.